Hello and welcome to Bounty into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounty into Comics. And I'm joined by my associate editor, Spencer McCooley, my co-host, Donald Edmonds, and our special guest, Drew Hernandez. How are you guys doing tonight?
Grogu's here too.
Doing well.
Don't forget Grogu.
Oh, of course. Can't forget Grogu.
We were talking beforehand, and I didn't even call him Grogu. I was calling him Baby Yoda because that's just who he is. In my mind, he's still Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda flows better. I like Baby Yoda a little better.
I think that's the first thing everyone said, right? Like when you watched Mandalorian episode 1 and you saw his little hand stick out and you saw the eyes. I mean, that's the first thing my wife said. She was like,
it's just a default reaction.
Yoda.
And it stuck. And then he was all mysterious with the child and woo, and then Grogu.
So just like last week when we had Jack joining us, we're going to kind of just jump right into the topics at hand since Drew is joining us. So we will be skipping over what we normally do, which is where we talk about what we've been watching, reading, playing over the past week. But we're going to just kind of jump right in to these topics. But I do want to say hello to the folks in the chat. We got Father Christopher Miller and Alexander Vidakovich, Lopter, Demon King of Inferno, Tahillim 29. I see Super Drew, Supreme Heretic is in there as well. So Ben V is there. Thank you so much. But we're going to just jump right into what's going on Twitter.
You're right, Joe.
And the cancel culture mob is back at it again. They're going after Chris Pratt. I feel like this happens once a month now. It's either Chris Pratt or Gina Carano. They kind of rotate on who, and then J.K. Rowling as well. She's been thrown into.
J.K.'s in the mix too.
so like once a month you have these guys showing up and people trying to cancel them. So Spencer did a really good job on this article, kind of figuring out what was going on, who was kind of behind this. So I'm going to kind of let Spencer take the lead on this and kind of walk us through what's going on with Chris Pratt. Why is the hashtag RIP Chris Pratt trending on Twitter?
Yeah, so this morning, guys and gals, you might have seen that hashtag was trending on Twitter, hashtag RIP Chris Pratt. And if you clicked on it, it seemed like a lot of people were super pissed off. And it was kind of hard to tell why. In fact, when John sent me the tip, I even asked him, I was like, what are they talking about? Like, I don't see anything here. And I actually had to go digging and everything to find these tweets. So basically, this morning, a bunch of fake tweets coming from Chris Pratt, or alleged to have come from Chris Pratt, started circulating on Twitter. And they, like, a couple of them were pretty, like this one right here is pretty bad. Calling another N-word a hard R N-word is hilarious. I don't care. And then there's another one, hashtag Miss Universe. In a way, they all look like Miss Hungry, talking about how models are always thin and kind of sometimes have eating disorders. Another one, just straight out, Muslims scare me so much. Kind of just this weird, ridiculous statement. And so these are clearly fake because not only is there no record of them, and like John was saying, with how many times Chris Pratt has been targeted for cancellation every other week, you would have thought these would have come up way before this. Like, he's always under the cancel culture microscope.
Yeah, those first two are saying they're from 2012.
Yeah. These first two are not only saying they're from 2012, but they're literally the exact same tweet that they edited. Yeah, it's the exact same time, exact same date, exact same number of engagements. It's just two different people looking at the same tweet and editing it. So I don't know why nobody caught on. What's up, Drew?
I think the worst part about this is, like, this is clearly someone that knows what they're doing, right? Like, they know how to, like, trigger their audience, but at the same time, I think they depend on, like, people viewing this to be stupid and not smart enough to be like, hey, that kind of, like, sounds like a fake tweet. I don't think that's real. I mean, does it really sound like Chris Pratt would say something like that at the end? Like, oh, Muslims scare me so much. It's like, these people depend on their audience to be stupid enough not to actually look into this and just believe it.
I honestly think that a lot of this stuff gets trending and no one can actually figure out what it's trending for or why it's trending. You just see the hashtag and you just see people, like, just kind of piling on. It doesn't even matter what it was trending for. It's just so you can just be like people hating on Chris Pratt, and you just try and get other people hating on Chris Pratt to try and just put pressure on whoever they are trying to put pressure on to try and get him canceled. I really think that's what it is. I don't even think it matters that what they're using to do it. It's just that they're running these huge like disinformation campaigns to try and take out Chris Pratt, which they see as some kind of enemy. Who knows why? Because he wore a "Don't Tread on Me" T-shirt once, and he attends church or something.
Because he wasn't at a Joe Biden fundraiser that he wasn't invited to.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's so absurd.
It's always like these attacks. It's always like these like I don't even feel comfortable calling them like mistruths. They're just like total lies that they launch against Chris Pratt. I think the last time they tried to cancel Chris Pratt, they were like trying to force him to admit that he supported Trump. You remember the last time they tried to cancel him? Like they pushed people in a corner. Like, we know you're a Trump supporter. You're a Christian. So by default, you have to be a Trump supporter. So just admit it so we can destroy you and send you into the digital abyss once and for all. Like,
yeah, it was because
why does it matter?
Yeah. Right.
They were trying to get him over the fact that he didn't go to that fundraiser that all these other like actors were going. And then literally the director of Avengers Endgame was like, dude, he wasn't even invited.
Like he had a scheduling conflict, like he wasn't invited. And then all these people were accusing Chris Pratt at the time, like you were saying, Drew, you're a Trump supporter, you're this, you're that. And John and I looked it up, and he actually donated money to Tulsi Gabbard. So
yeah,
all these people are super reliant, like you said, on their audience being dumb.
No, Tulsi Gabbard is a dink, apparently.
A dink?
A dink.
What?
A Democrat in name only.
Oh, a dink.
She's a dino.
She seems to be definitely courting conservatives. She's like on Fox. She's doing all kinds of interviews on like right-wing YouTube channels.
She's one of the very few people who realizes that we got, like, when people say unity, she's one of the few people who actually gives a crap about actual unity and not buying into all the hysteria that regularly surrounds everything going on.
So she's a person who thinks for herself. Okay.
Yeah, essentially, she's not a communist, which is good.
It's always a good feature.
She's not a communist, and she's not a warmonger. So perfect middle ground.
yeah, exactly. That's a good place to start.
But speaking of the attacks against Chris Pratt and how this is very clearly just an attack, I went digging on Twitter to find out just where did this start, and it appears it started from a Marvel Cinematic Universe group chat made up of like MCU stans. So that kind of tells you the group we're kind of dealing with, the same kind of groups that, like K-pop stans, DC CW stans, the kind of fans who are just a little bit on the insane side, because they clearly admit, like, these members clearly started admitting that they were fake, and they did it. I'm not entirely sure why. This person says, we didn't mean for it to get this big. It was supposed to be a jokey joke to wake up Marvel stan Twitter, but locals found it, and here we are. But I don't know what they were trying to wake them up to. Was it the fact that Chris Pratt? Yeah, like, I guess that's it. They're not clear, but that's clearly what they were going for.
Yeah.
Especially because another member in the group posted normalized blaming Chris Pratt and Jeremy Renner for things they didn't do. And if you go on to, some of these Twitter feeds now, I obviously didn't post all of them, but they're retweeting posts celebrating what they did and bragging about it and being like, we don't care, like, this is what he gets, so on and so forth. So it was clearly like 100% fake.
Yeah, it's definitely fake, but it also could be, I mean, to me, like, when you're talking about it this way, it's almost like it's just a bunch of teenagers just getting together, like just pulling a high school prank on the whole internet. That's what it feels like. It is. It's exactly what it feels like. But the problem is, it's not just a prank. Like, I think a lot of teenagers and younger people, and even probably people our age, don't realize that the internet is now the real world, and you have a gigantic audience. So you're not just pranking your best friend into believing that Chris Pratt said one thing and then laughing about it in the lunchroom. You're blasting this celebrity on a global level and just starting nonsense for no reason.
But I mean, really think about it. If this got carried to the point where like Marvel considered dropping Chris Pratt as starring as Star-Lord, like they would champion themselves. Like if it got to that level, you know what I'm saying? Like they would take credit for it. There'd be articles written in People's Magazine like, oh, these the kids that brought down Chris Pratt once and for all for being the scary white supremacist that we all knew he always was. It's like, if it does get to that point, they're champions. But if it kind of like doesn't get that far, they kind of back away from it. Like, oh, it was just a prank. And
it was
funny.
Just,
like you said, what's it called? The bird watch. It's like, where's the bird watch on this?
Yeah,
exactly. That's what we pointed out. John pointed this out as we wrote that there was no point out.
Price of Reason tipped me off to this, and he was the one who I'll give him the credit for it.
That's right.
Shout out to him.
Right, it was Twitter at Price of Reason. Shout out, great source of tips and news and opinions. But as you can, as we all probably know by now, Twitter didn't birdwatch this. They didn't put up anything to clarify it, like they did here with Christina Ariel from Star Wars: The High Republic,
which they didn't clarify. That's not a clarification.
Oh no, of course this one's not a clarification. It's an attack against us and flipping it, but Twitter didn't address it at all. Nobody wrote, oh, these tweets are fake. Oh, these tweets are blah, blah, blah. It just was allowed to trend and hang out there. Yeah. Literally no clarification.
What's the criteria for being part of the Birdwatch? Has anyone tried to sign up for that?
I genuinely doubt none of
like political affiliations or views.
I would sign up for that on general principle because I mean I don't like narking on people to begin with, but you know, I'm not down with that. I think that it's absolutely stupid. It's destructive, and it teaches destructive behavior.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It almost encourages the attacks against the quote unquote right people because you're just letting it happen instead of like this, like Christina Ariel's clarification, quote, whatever you guys want to call it, whatever we want to call it, that went up almost immediately. Like our article was only up for a couple hours and they were right there on it.
Yeah.
But Chris Pratt gets blasted like this for an entire day over some pretty heinous things that a lot of people would probably right now do believe are real, and silence.
It's because he's white, bro. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's one of many reasons. Absolutely.
It's 100% because you know he fits the nice looking white guy that oh, by the way, just happens to be a Christian and ripe target. That's for these people, for the woke cult, man. That's a target rich environment. They'll sit there and rip white Christians all day.
Didn't Elliot target him for?
Oh yeah, she was one of the first.
Ones.
She did it on one of the late night shows.
Yeah.
Colbert? No,
I forget who it was. It's one of them.
It's one of them. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I did want to get back to something that you pointed out, Drew, is that when these people get called out, if they get called out, they always revert back to like, oh, I was just joking. I wasn't even serious. Like that's like their new modus operandi now. That's
what they do.
Like, they
speaking of what's her name, it was Christina Ariel, right?
Yep,
that was her name.
Yeah,
I was following that whole thing, reading your guys' article, and what intrigued me the most about her story was you read her tweets, and she condemns white people for doing what she does, right? Like she was complaining on her Twitter saying, oh, I don't want to be told by like some white, executive old person, speaking on behalf of black issues. Like white people shouldn't be doing that. But like she turns around and you read her Twitter feed of her history and she's like saying what white people should or shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. It's like, how are you going to sit there and tell people that they can't speak on the black community when you're sitting there speaking on the white community? Does that make sense to anybody?
Well, your explanation makes sense.
Yeah,
the whole argument does not.
Well, what it is, Drew, It is simple. It's just role reversal and projection. They're sitting there and saying that you don't have the right to stand in judgment of me, but I can stand in judgment of you all day. And oh, by the way, I can tell you, because I have the moral high ground, how you should think and how you should act. But don't you dare say it to me, because you don't have that right. Because they're not saying it, but they feel they have the right because they're the superior or protected class.
I mean, I don't even think a lot of these people believe what they say. I mean, I think it just is what the talking point of the day. Because if you look at a lot of her tweets, there's somewhere she says like you says like you don't have the right to talk on this, and then then in other ones she's like, where are people talking on? Why aren't you talking about this? Like, where are the people talking?
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's like
that's the coffee.
It's the same issue.
But that's the catch-22 that they all those like the social justice people and the critical social justice people. That's what they always do. It's always that catch-22 where you can never win. You either silence is violence or don't talk on this.
They wake up and decide which one it is each day. They're like, okay, they're not talking about it enough. I want you to talk about this.
It's a social clout stock market, honestly.
And what it is.
And for me, I think it's just more about power moves, and people are like literally manipulating a lot of these people so they can just accrue more power, whether that's in Hollywood or whether that's through the government or whatever it is. And then I'm
or in the lunchroom apparently, according to this.
And I mean, I'm also like super cynical, where I think that like a lot of the Me Too stuff was just used to get people out of the way so they could get other people, their people in charge, or people that are like their friends in charge, to put them in more positions of power, so then they can push more of the agenda that they want through that. And I mean, we talked about this a little bit with Jack last week. Walt Disney testified in Congress that this was happening. There were communists infiltrating the labor unions in the 40s.
Communists, dude.
And he wanted to root them out. He obviously failed at doing so because they've now infiltrated the executive suite. And it was happening all the way back in the 40s. And I really think it really has a lot to do with the power and control. And they want to have their people in those positions of power to pull those levers. And that's where all this kind of, like, if you look at all the end games, to me, that's where it all ends up. It's a power play.
I mean, you look at the 80s, you look at like these past few decades, the last century, guys like Walt Disney, I mean, Ronald Reagan, you had all kinds of people speaking out against communism, because it was like, John Wayne and Hollywood, like there were a lot of anti-communists in Hollywood. Now it's flipped because we've been subverted and people don't realize. And that's why, like, I really wanted to be a part of your show, because it's like the culture is being invaded by all of this cultural Marxism, and it's being packaged in like these SJW Star Wars sequel trilogies and all these new, kid shows, where it's becoming normalized, where now little kids are watching this stuff and they're watching the sequel trilogy where, The Last Jedi, it's just nothing but women berating men, the whole freaking movie. And it's like, why? Why does it have to be that way? I don't understand. Like, it doesn't have to be so subliminal. It doesn't have to be pure propaganda. But the point I'm trying to make is that's what Marxists do. That's how they convert cultures. They use the culture and all the apparatuses to do it.
Yeah. Well. Think about this, and they know that they're driving the stake like just a little deeper in our hearts, because they're using the things that we hold dear, like the stuff that Generation X grew up on, and the generation right after us, and they are taking classics, classic franchises, classic properties, and injecting that in there to, give, by the way, a middle finger at us on the way, into driving that property in the ground. See, it never belonged to you. It was, no, it's not yours, and you're going to watch it die. And then that's just their twisted mindset. That's part of it. It's just terrible. And, it's like what you said, Drew, they're indoctrinating, the generations to follow. It's sad, it ticks you off if you're a traditional fan of these franchises and of these genres of entertainment. But at the same time, you got to understand that this is calculated and this is planned. This was always something that they were going to do.
Wesley Snipes, says nothing is about the work itself. It's about the political messaging. The writing is so bad now.
Dude, yes. And it's like, I mean, you read her tweets, Christina Ariel, right? It's like she paints white people with this broad brush. Like it's white. It's like all white people are, she wrote a tweet or she retweeted that Asian guy that was in the market and apparently some racist old lady looked at him and coughed at him because he was Asian in terms of or something like that, right? And she says, all white people. Like, do you not understand what that does to like the generation coming behind us? It's like you have a bunch of little kids that are watching this stuff because she represents Lucasfilms, bro. And you have a bunch of little white kids that see this stuff. And it's like, am I evil because of the color of my skin? They're bringing racism back. They're bringing discrimination back to where we were. Like, this isn't progress. We're digressing from the civil rights movement, and they're using freaking Disney to do it.
Well,
white apologists are all over the place now because of this, and it's sad to see them cuck so bad.
Oh, dude, it's bad. Don, it's absolutely sickening. It's awful, and good Lord, I can imagine like. If I was white, I'd want to walk up to one of them people, just slap them upside the dome. It's like, are you serious? Like what's wrong with you? Grow a set of balls.
Like no one's gonna believe. Like I highly doubt. Like when George Lucas was just in his creative zone, like writing Star Wars, I seriously doubt that George Lucas was like, you know what? This is all gonna just be about white people. And this is going to be a white supremacist universe, and we might be able to throw a black person or a brown person here and there, but that's how they like perceive it. That like these SJWs that are like this new generation in Lucasfilms, they come in and they act like that was Lucas's intention.
Political.
Like the actual films prove that wrong. I mean, James Earl Jones,
exactly,
voice of Darth Vader, and there's interviews where the actual guy who was in the suit playing Darth Vader was kind of like a little bit pissed off that he wasn't the one who got to voice him. And they brought in James Earl Jones because he was the one walking around doing it all, and he thought he would actually get to voice him too. But they brought in James Earl Jones to do it, and I think that was
would you look at that? A black person did something better than a white person, right? Yeah. Like, is that racist? No, it's just if someone's more talented than you, then someone is more talented than you. Like what these SJWs have done is if a white person is better than a black person, that's just racist.
Well,
it's not. It's just talent.
They've ruined the concept of meritocracy. They don't want meritocracy talked about or anything else.
That word.
Because they don't believe in, it shatters their whole narrative if people and listen, I grew up in the era when things were normal, so I was taught that we actually take people on their merits. Anytime I've ever been in a management position at a place I've worked, I've hired based on a person's merit. I never once considered their skin color or trying to meet some kind of quota or anything like that. I hired a person based on their merit. If they came in, answered the questions in a manner which I felt they were fit for the position, they were hired. Plain and simple. I didn't sit there and ask them a bunch of goofy questions. I didn't sit there and worry about, having to confer with, some kind of, diversity and inclusion department. It was just, hire the person based on their merits. And even when you meet people like in just a public setting, you accept people based on their merit, not, any other particular reason or their gender or their skin color. I mean, this whole thing, it's absolutely it's 100% asinine. It always has been, and this thing is gone from a very convoluted and just garbage social construct built on nothing but flimsy logic to somehow being the fact that shapes our society. And it's sorry, you can't base living real life on a lie. And that's exactly what all this stuff is.
One of the things that Jack talked about last week that really kind of I caught on to was the fact that there's going to be two separate societies going on, and I think it's kind of already happening in our culture. We're going to see totally two different ways of living. These people that are going to lecture you with Admiral Holdo versus people who are going to be making the next Luke Skywalker, the next Black Panther, the next X-Men, etc. And I see that already. I see that already happening. I was watching a PewDiePie video. I don't know, it was a while ago, but he was even talking about that. He was reacting to. I think he was reacting to Brie Larson's original video, and he was just like, "This isn't normal. This is what these people do on that side of the YouTube." So like even YouTube already has that divide. There's the people that watch the Brie Larson videos, and then there's the people that are watching like Eric July,
content
comics,
creators,
Neurotic, and like PewDiePie. So I see that already forming, and I think the one thing that is scary is that I also see the people in power now in government see that too, and they want to basically shut down everyone who lives on the other side.
I think we saw that, right, with what happened with the High Republic and versus Mandalorian, right? Wasn't there a rumor like they were all pissed off because it was supposed to be this next like SJW packaged, book and show and this and that, but they were all triggered because Jon Favreau didn't tell anybody that Luke was the big reveal until like weeks before. I think I saw a rumor they were all pissed off. It's like, another white guy, white guy comes and steals the show from another minority packaged thing. I don't know if that was actually real, but I saw some rumors out there. It's like, dude, no, it's just because it's better than you. Period.
Yeah,
I don't even know a single character from the High Republic right now. I don't even care to know because it wasn't appealing to me.
You don't know Jamaram?
No, dude.
All I know is that lightsabers.
I saw a
don't work
video
in
of
the
some
High
guy
Republic.
railing on it. I was like, oh, this is embarrassing, bro.
I do. So I'm not like there is the rumor about like the Civil War. I'm not sure that there is one. I do think there is a divide.
Sure.
I think that's very clear. You see that between the people like Pablo Hidalgo that are going to go out and like have been insulting Star Wars fans for years because they simply criticized The Last Jedi because it's a trash movie on its own, just from a narrative standpoint. It's a trash movie from a Star Wars continuity standpoint, and it's especially a trash movie from its SJW lecturing standpoint. And so people like Pablo Hidalgo have been like taking people out all over the place. But usually and then obviously Rian Johnson, even J.J. Abrams was throwing shade
Pablo
at
insulted one of the biggest freaking Star Wars YouTubers on the face of the planet and thought he can get away with it on Twitter for all the it's like, what are you doing? You don't do that. You don't do that as a representative of a company of probably one of the biggest fan bases on the internet. What are you thinking? What are these people thinking?
He's thinking that because he's been doing it for years. He's been doing that. He just had never actually done it to Star Wars Theory before. Yeah. He had been doing it to all the people that were the isms and the phobias.
Already unpersoned.
And the man babies and all that stuff and everything they want to call you. But I do think there's a separation between the people like Pablo Hidalgo, like Rian Johnson, like J.J. Abrams, that were working on the sequel trilogy, and then the people you see on The Mandalorian, aside from Pedro, who decided to call half of Americans Yahtzees, as Gary likes to say. But usually you see the people that are working on The Mandalorian are usually pretty respectful. Gina Carano is obviously the highlight, but Carl Weathers, I've seen some of his stuff. He's been really respectful, really nice to the fans. Every time I see an interview with Giancarlo what's his last name?
Esposito.
Esposito, thank you. Giancarlo Esposito. He's talking about like being excited about the show.
Dude, he always has fun.
Yeah.
He's having fun with the interviews.
He makes
like,
me excited.
Is my character related to Darth Vader? Like, am I force sensitive? What's going on? Like, he's just like, you'll have to find out. And he's like, it's actually getting you hyped about the show. Whereas like again, people like Paulo Hidalgo, when they're making comments, it's just like hating on someone usually.
They just don't realize what Star Wars is to people. They don't understand like the cultural impact. Like this stuff changes people's lives, and that's not a bad thing. Like it's provided so much inspiration for kids for decades. And like I think there's a generation in Lucasfilms that is coming out of these like Marxist indoctrinated universities with all of their crazy ideas. And now Lucasfilms hires them and they can care less about the cultural impact and inspiration that Star Wars has provided the past few decades. And they just want to invade it with their tailor-made propaganda. And it really does ruin like the whole vibe. It ruins the whole inspiration. It's like, that's why I appreciate The Mandalorian and guys like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Like they could disconnect themselves from the political environment and just create and tell a good story. Like the Ahsoka episode will change my life. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
I do want to. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We're critics of The Mandalorian, but I will say that the one thing The Mandalorian does do, or it doesn't do, that we have been seeing with Disney is it's not lecturing you. It's they're trying to tell a good story, and I've talked about this before.
They failed.
They're working on it. They're improving, and I do think they are improving on it. Yeah. I think the fact that the fob is never seen again in season 2 testament to that. And when Favreau was talking about, Favreau was like, I want my like core fans to be excited. I want them to feel that spark. And he said that on a couple occasions in different ways, and I really think he means that. He wants to entertain people. Like that's his goal. His goal is to entertain. It's not to lecture. It's not to push a political agenda. So he definitely does have a very different philosophy than what we see from like pretty much all the rest of Lucasfilm.
Do you think guys like Filoni and Favreau are listening to the fandom?
I think they try. Yeah, I think.
What do you think?
I think Favreau. I do. The fact that the fob is not in season 2 is evidence to that. That I 100% believe that, because the fob, which is one of the worst things I've ever seen as a storytelling device, which lets you just find anyone anywhere in the galaxy because you plug them in, which makes absolutely no sense. And they got rid of it, and it works. Even though like Boba Fett still finds Mando on that one planet without like he just happens to show up or whatever. There's a little bit of a problem there, but like at least the fob isn't there. So I do think they're listening.
Who do you think's listening to the fandom more, Kennedy or Favreau?
Favreau, 100%. Favreau. I'm not sure about. I mean, I'm still skeptical of Filoni.
I think he's just concerned about Ahsoka, dude. He just wants to get that Ahsoka show going.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that I have had high praise for those, like, so I don't know. Have you watched Star Wars Rebels?
Yeah, I've seen a few. I've seen a few of the series. I haven't watched it in entirety though.
So those first couple, there's like he used to do these like movies. They were like hour long, or it was like double episodes, but they were like one episode movies, animated movies. And those were like some of the best Star Wars storytelling we had seen since the original trilogy, I would argue. And like it's them escaping from Lothal and like how they did it. It all made really sense. So I really liked a lot of that stuff, but that was also pre 2015, 2014, 2016, when all of this stuff like basically took over Hollywood.
Yeah.
It was obviously it was already there before, but then it just like blew
in
up.
Overdrive because of Trump.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Overdrive.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking, Drew? I want to hear your thoughts, man.
Drew on Drew.
I'm just, I'm satisfied with Mandalorian, and like we were saying about people that have been in that show, I talk regularly. There was one actor, the actor that played Din Djarin's dad in the flashback in season 1, Bernard Bullen. I talk to him fairly regularly on Twitter via DM, and he's a down to earth dude, and he appreciates even though he had a bit role, being part of the Star Wars universe. So you appreciate actual Star Wars fans, and he, he laughs at the rampant wokeness, as do, I think, privately a lot of them, but they can't say anything about it, because the minute that they do, or they stand up for people with normal common sense, well, then guess what? They get themselves immediately cut out of roles, opportunities, everything else. And it sucks that there's that standard that you almost have to follow the woke path to be a part of that industry. It's awful.
That's the sad part too, isn't it? Like I would be willing to bet that the majority of these people in this industry, like you just said, Drew, I would be willing to bet that they do force themselves to like just follow the woke narrative. Like they don't even believe in it. They just know that it's politically correct and it will, gain them further access into the industry. So they just go with it because it's popular for now.
Well, you can see it, because I mean we've already seen some of the older
Grant Morrison came out as non-binary, like one of the most prolific comic book writers.
But that's him. That's him being a magician. That's him being a magic weirdo more than a gender theorist.
But like the Matrix creators.
I'm still going to use that as an example. Yeah, Matrix creators, Page. The list goes on and on.
But as far as like big mainstream actors, a lot of the veteran actors that are pretty much they'll take a big role every once in a while, but for the most part they're retired. I mean, you see people coming out with all kind of common sense stuff. Matthew McConaughey. You see like people like Kurt Russell.
Russell Brand. I think Russell Brand has had some interesting comments, more so than Matt. I mean, Matthew McConaughey gets the credit because he said like he wanted to, like he got the headline because he was calling out like the woke left. But I thought in that Russell Brand's comments were way more interesting because he was actually getting to like the root of the problems of what we're kind of facing in the Western culture.
But there's a lot of them in that sphere that have kind of that are starting, I think, to finally be fed up with it, and they're just like, the hell with this. I'm done following this dumb narrative anyway. And it's going to take time, but eventually I think more of them will say something. But at least right now, it's going to be mum's the word, because they're doubling down on authoritarianism in the world around us, and that's going to be the order of the day. I mean, my goodness, people are afraid to speak up. Just tonight, and I know this is a little off topic, but I quote tweeted it just before the show. They're talking. They gave the military an actual stand down order, essentially for retraining, and they have to go through a discussion on white nationalism and extremism in the ranks. And this is legitimately happening amongst every branch of the military. It's a standing order that just came down. It's a stand down order. And I mean, and that should be scary for multiple reasons. And I won't get into that part of it, but
let's move back to talking about Star Wars and pop culture. I mean, that stuff is definitely important, but I just want to keep us on our pop culture topic.
Not go down that rabbit hole.
I think it's a good point to bring up, because where my heart's at with all this stuff right now is like showing people what this stuff is doing to us as a society. Like Drew bringing that up is actually a really good point, because look at the military now. Now you have the military, the United States military, that's being infected by this stuff that affects all our lives. And now you have like pop culture, like freaking Disney, getting infected with the same stuff. So what this stuff does is it invades all aspects of society until there's a total collapse in culture where like, I always tell people this, dude, like all these, hardcore leftists, whatever your guys' views on God is, that's your own personal view. But a majority of them are just like, they hate God. They don't believe in God and this, and their excuse is always, oh, well, Jesus wants me to be perfect. I have to dot all my I's, cross all my T's. I have to be this perfect little church kid in order to be accepted by God. But it's like the religion of the left is even more legalistic and even worse. I can't say the wrong thing on social media. I can't make a misstep without getting freaking canceled out of eternity with these people. Like they have a religion within themselves that is more legalistic than I think in some legalistic Christian churches. I don't know, man. That's how I view this. You have to speak perfect. You have to act perfect. You can't misgender someone. And if you you're gone.
Their language also changes every single day. And figuring out you have to constantly keep up with what they're saying. I do want to get back to the idea that actors are going along with the flow. I definitely agree with that, but I did want to point out, and I think I wrote about this a couple months ago. It was just they were going after Gina again. It was interesting. Gina basically, like, season 1, hum ho, like was just kind of she was there doing her thing as Cara Dune. Then the Twitterati decided to attack her, and she blew up. Like, her Twitter following, her social media following absolutely blew up because she actually said basically to these people, F off. Like, I'm not putting that in my bio. I'm going to go beep bop boop on you. And I'm not putting pronouns in my bio, saying that it's stupid. She calls these people out. She says that, like,
that's hate speech. You can't say that. You can't beep bop boop. That's hate speech, bro. You can't say that on this app. We're going to get throttled.
We probably already are. We probably already are. We've been on the list for a while.
Monetized?
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But she also, like, tells them that she rightfully called them out for harassing her, which is what they were doing, and which is what they still do, which is what they're doing with Chris Pratt. I think that what they're doing with Chris Pratt is definitely harassment. And I thought it's Twitter is supposed to have rules against that, which they obviously don't enforce. And instead they put it up into their trending so more people can pile on. Which is absolutely disgusting. But yeah, like, that's the point. Like, I actually think they're like, Gina is a perfect example. Stand up to these people. Like, you will get a ton of respect from people, and your file, like, you'll get, like, become even bigger, because Gina's probably one of the bigger stars now in movies and TV. Like, everyone knows who she is.
Yeah.
Because she stood up to these people.
She's just unfortunately, like, like, I guess in the mind of, like, a Lucasfilm leftist SJW, she's, like, unfortunately everything that they want, like this female that is a superstar that could, like, beat up anybody on screen and everyone loves her, but she just doesn't have the right political views. So she's just like a sour apple, like, to these hardcore.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, that's everything they've ever wanted. They try and make it happen with, like, Brie Larson. It's just like cringe. It's like, dude, you're not. Just stop, But you watch, it's like, dude, she's crazy.
It's what they say they want. They don't actually. It's what they say they want. I mean, like, these people say one thing, but they actually believe something else.
Yeah.
I mean, Magic Mike, perfect example. Aquaman, like, they want to see the guys, like, ripping their shirts off and being super buff, like, but and then at the same time they want to, like, try and just be like, no, you can't have that.
With Kylo.
Yeah, Kylo Ren, like, shirtless with, like,
dude, with those high pants, those high water.
You know the fit.
Straight to the belly button. Inspired. No, thank you. I'm not gonna, dude. I had the worst, like, anxiety after that movie. I was so excited to watch The Last Jedi. You guys have no idea. I don't know. You asked my wife.
Probably were.
I was so excited to watch that movie, and then it just, I mean, I think the only reason, I think JJ did a decent job, like, kind of, like, setting up Luke to be, like, this legacy character, like, with the cliffhanger. I was like, okay, well, this is going somewhere. They're gonna do something decent with Luke, and then that movie just. Yeah, I still can't get over it, dude. I'll never forgive them.
No. Just right.
The whole
was like,
to Hillam. I kind of agree with Tehillim 29. I'm going to disagree with you on this one, Drew. Tehillim 29 says The Force Awakens ruined Star Wars. I don't know if it's that bad, but it was definitely a ripoff of A New Hope.
New Hope, yeah.
I think it came out of the gate and didn't exactly blow everybody away, but it was kind of like okay, I'm willing to see where you go next.
Yes,
that's how
and then they decided to go off of a cliff into a gorge that's on fire.
Yeah, I mean, there were obviously problems. There were obviously problems with it. They made Finn a janitor.
Han Solo's a deadbeat dad.
Yeah, they really did.
Han Solo's a deadbeat dad. Leia is a loser mom. So there are like huge problems with The Force Awakens. Rey is definitely a Mary Sue. She like learns how to do Jedi mind tricks after like Kylo like searches her feelings.
She can fly the Falcon expertly once.
And repair it. So yeah, there's huge problems with The Force Awakens. And I think one of the ones is with Luke. Like the whole purpose of them, he leaves a map. Like that's the whole it's Luke has left the map. Like he left the part of it with Lor Santeca, and then the other part is with R2D2, and that's what is Gary called, the mystery box or whatever that you're chasing. Yeah. That's like the mystery box that they're chasing, and there's no payoff to the mystery box. It's like, okay, why did he leave a map for people to come find him? But then in The Last Jedi, they it's completely ignored, and it's like he cuts himself off from the Force. He's like hiding away. He didn't actually leave a map. It does it's just
how could you do that to one of the most influential characters of all time? I just will never understand.
Because
Don is right. Spite, jealousy, hatred, bitterness,
character,
ugliness,
destroy another character.
Yep.
I mean, what makes it worse is he literally sat there next to Mark Hamill and did all of those like promotional interviews and talks, knowing that he like absolutely killed Luke Skywalker, and Mark Hamill is sitting there next to him, like telling him, like, you don't know Luke Skywalker. What are you talking about? That's not how it happened. Like Luke Skywalker wouldn't do that.
I don't know. Money talks, man. I think Mark Hamill was probably maybe offered a lot of money to just sit there, shut up, and just be on camera. I don't know.
Well,
I can't prove that,
but he didn't.
I mean, in interviews, all kinds of subliminal little messaging on YouTube. There's all kinds of,
Film Gob has a really good compilation of like Mark Hamill just basically telling us that Luke Skywalker was going to be turned into an abomination in The Last Jedi, and sitting there, like he sits there next to Rian Johnson in like multiple interviews talking about like how horrible Luke Skywalker was. And I think most of them were either like right before The Last Jedi or like right after, when they're doing promotional stuff. And it's the same problem with Avengers Endgame. Like, it's like the movie's not that good when you're literally doing articles just answering like, okay, can you explain this? Why did this happen? And that and the directors and writers are having to like try and tell you what should have been in the movie in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a tough one, especially when you're dabbling in like hardcore time travel. You're always going to run into like plot holes and issues in movies, but it's really hard to simplify that, I think, in a motion picture like freaking Endgame, dude. But I mean, they had to find a way to kind of go back.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but they should have, instead of like trying to crap on Back to the Future, they should have just been like, okay, we're using Back to the Future because it works. People understand that, and we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do Back to the Future because people have seen that, it's been around. Like instead, they were like, yeah, Back to the Future time travel doesn't make any sense, so we're gonna like explain it this way and basically wing it because that's what they did. But yes, I'm definitely on the cynical side of Star Wars. I know a lot of people still have a lot of hope for The Mandalorian. I'm actually more hopeful for the Book of Boba Fett because I think that premise where he actually goes and kills what's his name? Oh my gosh, what can't
Bib Fortuna?
Don here got the Star Wars names already. Yeah, he kills Bib Fortuna, takes over that. I think there's more. I'm more optimistic about that than I am for the future of The Mandalorian. I know Drew is more excited about that because he gets to see more Katie Sackhoff, and probably if what we think is going to happen, like more focus on the Mando stuff. But I'm actually more interested in the Boba Fett stuff because I think that's what the Mandalorian should have been in the first place. Is just like a bounty hunter just making his way through the galaxy on the outskirts of outside of the New Republic, which is how Favreau originally pitched the Mandalorian to us back in 2018 on his Instagram. But we really haven't. I mean, he was basically working for the New Republic throughout all of season 2 for the most part, especially after Kara gets deputized and he's working with her.
Yeah.
What is your guys' predictions for the Kenobi show? It's 10 years after.
Trash.
Right?
Absolute trash.
It's gonna be garbage.
Especially because
when they reveal Potato Head. Oh boy.
Yeah, they promised like the rematch of the century. No, the rematch of the century already happened. It happened in A New Hope.
It also sounds like Obi might play second fiddle to a bunch of like checklist casting or cast members according to casting reports.
What do they call that? BIPOCs?
BIPOCs, yeah.
God.
Yeah, I have zero interest in Kenobi after they said that it was going to be a rematch of the century. Like just killed it for me. Like she was like, yeah, this will be great. We'll get Obi-Wan and Vader to fight again. It'll be so good. We're going to make people are going to like watch it. And it's like, no, did you not watch A New Hope? Like that was the rematch.
Right. I'm more interested in what I would like is I kind of like how Theory did his take on like Vader's story, like continuing on that. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it makes me interested to see like where he was like post all of that. And I definitely loved Anakin as a character, and I hope they kind of like dabble into more of that, to like where his mind was, what he was going through, what he was feeling, what he was thinking. Like, I mean, where was he like? And I feel that's something
they've been doing that.
Like kind of
They've been doing that in the comics.
Yeah, I've seen the comics.
Yeah,
I've read them, but I'm saying like on film, like on the big picture, I would love to see something like that.
So adapt the film.
I think we'd all love to see it. I just don't know how likely it is that we will see it.
That's you know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping we can maybe get out of the community series. But we'll see.
Yeah, if it was a Vader series, that's another story because Vader's literally acting as the arm of the Emperor at that time, and he's just butchering. He's hunting down other like Jedi that escaped Order 66.
He goes back to Mustafar. All that dude would be dope to freaking see.
He builds his castle on, or he builds the castle on Mustafar. He's going to like civilization or planets that might be thinking of rebelling and just basically just butchering them, bringing them to heel, making them toe the line, and he becomes he is this feared enforcer of the Emperor, and rightfully so. Like that's why he has that reputation that we see in A New Hope. I think there's only like a couple people that like fear him, and then the one guy or that don't fear him, and the one guy like learns quickly that he should fear him after Vader starts force choking him.
Because even in the comics, there was a time where nobody even knew who Vader was. They didn't even know his identity.
Like right after he was created. Yeah.
They didn't even know. So I just think stuff like that is cool and interesting. I'd like to see on the big screen. Maybe tight.
Yeah, I didn't really like. So Charles Soule did a comic series for Marvel recently. His run, it takes place right after Revenge of the Sith. It was okay. I didn't really like
Gillian.
It.
His runs are great.
The part where he builds his like lightsaber and you get to see him like feel like how they create the red. How they turn the kyber crystals red by like channeling your anger and hate and your passion to that. I actually think that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. I like Kylo Ren's lightsaber. I'll admit.
Yeah, but I think they can. I think that storyline can definitely be improved. Because I mean the Inquisitors are also like fallen Jedi. Yeah. A couple of them are too. So you would think that some of them probably know that they would sense it through the Force, they would feel it, but they would do that. But yeah, I think there's plenty of opportunities to tell those stories. Like I still think that they're like Star Wars is so ripe for like really cool stories, but the fact is it's run by people who are incompetent, and not only are they incompetent, they're agenda driven, and they're going to just push that agenda in through that stuff. and we see it. I mean, the High Republic seems to be that way. I think I haven't like read the stuff I read from Charles Soule, the excerpts, like it was just boring. There wasn't an excitement. It didn't feel like Star Wars. It just, I don't know. It wasn't into me. And then the first comic, the High Republic comic, they got a lightsaber that's literally doesn't work like a lightsaber should.
Yeah.
It literally, like, you put a lightsaber in like a solid object, it's gonna keep cutting, and you're falling. Yeah. It's gonna keep cutting down. It's not gonna stop.
Like rewriting the physics of a lightsaber.
Yeah,
they're making it like a real sword.
Yeah, the one thing that actually, I mean, at least Kavan Scott owned up to it, and he used to be like, "Yeah, I messed up on that one." but the High Republic has been in the works for at least 3 years, from Kavan Scott's own words, and you can't get that right. Your first book, come on. I mean, what have you been doing for 3 years?
They're just disconnected.
Yeah. So it's like, who's the editor? Like, who are the people that like pointing this out? Like,
what do you guys think about the Veil and the Force theory? Do you think, would you guys like to see the sequel trilogy erased?
Oh, absolutely.
Always. I think every Star Wars fan that did not like the sequels trilogy would like to see that thing erased. Will it be erased is another question.
No. Would you guys like to see like Lucas's original ideas? 7, 8, 9?
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Yeah, I was intrigued by that footage for that TV show. I would have loved to have had that TV show.
No, the stuff with like awesome. Stuff with Darth Talon being the villain. That sounds really cool to me.
Yeah,
like pulling from the Star Wars Legacy. That was that Ostrander that did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just Ostrander did that. But yeah, that I'm going through that story, man. That stuff's good. Darth Talon is cool. Like the first thing she does, the first thing she's ordered to do by Darth Krayt is to kill the Sith Master who trained her, and it's really cool. And she does it. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, you're Sith. Like, just no mercy, no sympathy, no empathy.
Makes Kylo Ren look like a
pure hate.
Right? It's like he's in preschool.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
I could not understand Kylo Ren for the life of me, dude.
I just had to change my avatar because I had to circle back to Kaylee. I miss her.
Especially after watching Jen Psaki every single day.
Exactly.
Just hanging her out to dry, bro. She's just gonna circle back.
Yep.
Oh,
every single day.
And back.
I saw the question she got asked about Biden's faith, and she totally was just like, he goes to church every weekend. It's like totally like not answering the question.
Right.
It's like, okay. Everything I've seen from her is just like that. She like totally
circling
just changes
back to find an answer.
Yeah, she just changes the question. She just, when she's not circling back, she's just outright avoiding the question and talks about something completely different.
Dude, there were like, I think the other day there was a bunch of like I think the Daily Beast, like a bunch of left-leaning reporters were all pissed off because the White House is trying to like screen their questions, which is kind of like a, huh? And I guess they're trying to do that to give her an upper edge so she could answer more thoroughly. It's like, you guys are making women look really bad. It's like, women can do what men do and it's all equality, but now you have to kind of cheat to help her out because she obviously sucks.
I'm honestly surprised that they weren't already doing that, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Well, as it is, they lob her softballs, which is hilarious, but
not an easy job.
But the thing is like, at least like Kayleigh McEnany was a treasure, man. She would put those reporters on blast.
I want to get back to your question about the sequel trilogy being erased, and I pretty much agree with what Wesley Snipes is saying here. He says that Disney needs to make the sequel trilogy Legends. They just need to do what they did to all of the EU stuff. And I know a lot of people are upset about that stuff. I understand why they did it. I think that made sense for them to do that because I think there's a lot of bad stuff in the EU. I think the whole idea of like that they stole for Rise of Skywalker from Dark Empire. I think that stuff is just atrocious with Palpatine transporting himself into a clone on another planet and then coming back. That's a horrible idea.
It was just a bot. It was bad. You got it. I mean, J.J. Abrams. It's like, dude, man,
That's
he's
in
a
Dark
talented
Empire.
filmmaker, and they just destroyed his career with that movie.
Yeah.
We'll see we'll see what he does with HBO Max.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be doing Justice League Dark,
So-
but he's been very
The
quiet.
Snyder Cut comes out what next month? What do you guys
Yeah,
think
March.
about that? In March, right?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I like Snyder's stuff, so I'm optimistic.
Jared Leto got a new look, didn't he? Isn't the Joker going to look different now?
Yeah, he's supposed to be in it. I don't know. It's 4 hours. It's really long. That's really long for a movie.
How are they releasing it? Are they releasing it in like episodes or just a full
No,
movie?
it's not. Snyder confirmed it's going to be one full movie.
Yeah, he recently confirmed that like a week or two ago.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
Hopefully they
I don't
fix Superman's mustache.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
we'll
helps
see.
her lit, bro.
We'll see. I mean, there's obviously like the haters are definitely going to come out. The media is going to attack that film, just absolutely shred it to pieces, no matter what, because they feel like they've been betrayed by AT&T. You already saw those like articles that they were just like, I can't believe AT&T did this. They like gave the Yahtzees a win, and like all these bad evil people, like they're getting what they wished for. Like I can't believe it. And we covered that. What was that? August, I feel like, when it was announced. So they're gonna you're gonna see those talking points retreaded in March. I guess it'll probably have a below 50% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm interested to see where it goes. And then you'll also have the people who are like, "Oh, like that's not the Superman I know," and it's like, obviously it's not.
Would you
not
rather
want
have Nicolas Cage? Would you rather have Nicolas Cage playing Superman? Is that what you guys want? Like,
Well,
no, thank you.
when I'm saying that, it's just I'm talking about like how he acts and like what he does, rather than an actual actor. Yeah, they want these. Yeah, these people want the Donner Superman. Yeah, and there's other incarnations of Superman from the comics that aren't the Donner Superman. That's not to say like the Donner Superman isn't great. He is.
There can be other ones,
right.
Yeah,
and I feel like Snyder was definitely giving us an Injustice vibe, especially this stuff with the Omega dreams that Batman was having, where Superman literally executes him.
Yeah.
So that's where I felt like that was going, and that makes more sense from Man of Steel. The more I think about that, if like Superman was going that way, that makes more sense to me, because like it explains like why Superman would like just abandon his dad to a tornado, or why he's so petty with the truck driver and stuff like that. But in that movie, he's supposed to grow out of that. 'Cause isn't it Man of Steel when he sees his dad in the vision? Is that a Man of Steel, or is that Batman vs Superman?
That's I don't know. They all run together.
Steel. I want to say.
Yeah, but he's supposed to grow out. He's like, they try and like say like he tries to like grow out of that angsty stuff so he can fight Zod, and then he kills Zod. So if that like that kind of, I feel like that's kind of a good trajectory to make him go Injustice type Superman, where he becomes like the evil dictator. He doesn't save Jimmy Olsen, but he's able to save Lois. Like Jimmy Olsen gets executed. But yeah, and I know that's an issue too. Like that Jimmy Olsen is a freaking CIA agent. It's just kind of stupid. But,
the universe is believable. I mean, I enjoyed the universe that they created. I just feel like the stories were just so botched. They were terribly botched, especially Batman versus Superman. It just didn't click. It didn't connect at all. Like the plot changing and them unifying because of their mothers is just like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm there with you on that one.
Yeah, like Lex Luthor.
I'm more forgiving about their name, but the whole like Luthor pitting them against each other is absolutely stupid. Yeah. I thought they had a better in the first act, when you don't realize that it's like Luthor sending stupid like letters to Batman. and stuff
How's
to
Bruce Wayne not
Superman.
aware? Like, come on, man.
It's the first act is like is more interesting because Batman already sees that this guy can turn on him, and he's like preparing for that. He's preparing for the worst already, and I think that's a more interesting reason why he would want to like go at like why he would like oppose Superman. He's already like he sees this guy like he's doing good stuff, but like dude, this guy's like crazy powerful. I need a way to be able to stop him if he decides to like go crazy, like he decides to change his mind and he like snaps. Like that's a much more interesting and I think more logical reason for him to like want to oppose Superman than like whatever Luthor was sending him in the mail.
Yeah.
And he saw that you got that when he's fighting Zod. When Batman sees him fighting Zod, sees the destruction, and just like, holy crap, this is like not good. Like I need to like be prepared for this in case this crazy stuff happens again. Yeah. And he would also be prepared for like potentially like he realized, okay, yeah, Superman's an alien. These other people are aliens. What else is out there? I need to get prepared because I need to protect Gotham. I'm like dealing with like crazy psychos like the Joker, but there might be even like more bigger threats out there.
Yeah, as long as we don't get anything like freaking Wonder Woman 1984, I'll be all right.
Oh God,
that was such a hard movie to I felt so bad for Chris Pine's character. I'm like, man, dude, they're just demasculinizing this guy, dude. Like,
that's the way of the world now.
He was like this, World War I fighter pilot in the first one, and he had an awesome character. And then now they bring him back, and they're just make him look like an idiot. They have him trying on clothes in her bedroom. It's just like, where's this movie going? It's going nowhere. It means nothing. And Pedro Pascal is just like, I don't know, dude. It's just like a freaking misogynist.
Yeah, I mean, I thought.
No, you can destroy that movie because it's trash.
Yeah, I mean, of all the things in that movie, I thought his character was halfway decent, but that was about the only halfway decent thing about it.
Till the end, where they totally
destroyed it.
He's a good actor. I mean, I think he's a good actor, but it's just like,
you
almost destroyed the world and you just walk away like nothing. There's no consequence with you and your son. Did you wish that everyone would forget before you gave away your final wish?
Patty Jenkins tried to explain that on Twitter by using someone else's like fan theory. Like she's like, you got it right. And so basically, when you give up your wish, like everything that happened from that wish is like reversed. That's how she tried to explain that.
But the whole world was like still in shambles.
I'm just telling you that's what she said.
I mean,
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying. I know. I'm just saying
because I'm hearing it for the first time, and it's just like this whole movie was about a rock, a wishing rock.
Yeah. Which I mean, that's not unheard of. It would have been better if it was Eclipso.
I don't know.
Really?
Following the first Wonder Woman, which I thought was a decent story. It looked great, sounded great, but it wasn't amazing. But a rock.
Yeah. And
I just like talking crap. I like talking crap.
We just
absolutely.
we just won't even
You should like tune into our like go back and watch some of our Mandalorian streams. You want we get pretty into really picky about that show. And how it can be vastly improved.
I was the apologist though. I'll admit, I was the apologist most of the time.
I don't know. I feel like Spencer was more.
Yeah, I was definitely more an apologist.
Spencer was definitely more on like this, like liked it more than I feel like the rest of us did.
I definitely would have said that. Yeah, especially throw a spaceship in there. Done.
All right, so really quick, I want to get to a super chat here from our buddy Jeffrey Turner, aka Mega Jetty. What's up, Jeffrey? Good to see you. He says for $5, I justify the Snyderverse by explaining reason the Justice League characters are not true heroes is because Darkseid time traveled and altered their origins to win.
That would actually be really interesting.
When does Darkseid ever time travel though?
Yeah, but
doesn't Darkseid exist outside of time?
He is a god.
I thought when he breaks through whatever the wall is, when he gets the anti-life equation is when he's able to like manipulate time. So So you're saying he already has, like, yeah, I guess you would have to say that he already achieved that then, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. If you're gonna do the time travel thing, it would be more like it's all like they're already in Flashpoint timeline, and Barry has traveled in,
has messed up everything.
Yeah. Like I think that's the better explanation there. Or you could even do like Black Racer is like tapped into the Speed Force or something like that.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be cool.
Cut, Kirby cut.
Jeffrey is saying Darkseid could steal Flash's Speed Force. Yeah, or you just be like, all right, Black Racer, do it for me instead.
Hey,
I do want to get back to what you were saying about the first Wonder Woman, about how they like destroyed Steve Trevor's character in the second one. He literally makes like the greatest sacrifice that you can ever make. He sacrifices himself.
I was gonna say he was like
all of the
one
for Wonder Woman, for everyone else on the ground, for basically the entire world, because they're about to like drop like all the
nukes,
whatever the gas. I think it was gas. I think it was the poison gas in this one, right?
Oh, in the first one, yeah, in the first one, yeah.
Yeah, he sacrifices himself by blowing up the plane to stop that. And then so he makes this heroic sacrifice, and then they bring him back, and he's
another dude.
Yeah, he's just a
it's
dummy.
Not even him.
Yeah.
I mean, she sees him, but it's like literally. I mean, you bring back this guy that made such a crazy sacrifice, and he's like a hero, and he comes back miraculously, and he's like another dude. It's like, it's just so sad. It's just such a destruction to a great character.
Well, and also I remember Patty Jenkins when she was promoting the film back when it was supposed to come out in like July of 2020, I think. She was like hyping up that like Chris Pine's character was so masculine, and that's why we liked him, and like that was like how she was promoting the movie, and it was just like, holy crap, this is like another Rian Johnson, like what's the phrase? It's not like Cloak and Dagger, but it's like I'm gonna show you something. Bait and switch. There it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was another bait and switch. Like they like she was trying to like oh yeah, this is great, and then it's like, no, we're actually doing the complete opposite of how I promoted the film in my interview.
Oh, it's like an Avengers Academy the Avengers Square game.
Yeah, I'd much rather have it the opposite way, where you have Brie Larson going like completely off the deep end, promoting the film like it's like insanely crazy, super woke, and then when you actually watch the film, it's like not as bad as what you're expecting. Whereas like this one, it was just like, oh, you're promoting it this way, and then you literally get all the woke crap in it. Because
I feel sad. It's just like, imagine if it was the other way around. Imagine if like these dudes like Robert Downey Jr. and all these superstars were just trashing on women, you know, like imagine if it was the other way around. It's like, I'm all for diversity. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say like, I'm not for that. It's like, of course we want, you know, female characters that are powerful, like little girls look up to that. And that's cool. But why do they always have to be appearing like trashing on men and making men look ridiculously stupid, as if like that's your whole narrative? Like, it doesn't have to be that way. Just make them great characters.
That's writing nowadays.
Just make them great characters.
Well, think about the formula. I mean, we had like, you know, I mean, I'm an old coot probably by most of the standards on the panel, you know, because I'm going to be 47 this month, but you know, I grew up in the 80s, and you know, they had a good formula then for awesome female characters. I mean, you know, even the most flawed cartoon, you could even go with like She-Ra was still good. Like the concept of She-Ra was great.
The He-Man creators would tell you opposite.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. I mean, it wasn't bad in its execution. You had a lot of on the G.I. Joe show at the time. You had a lot. I mean, that was the shining example of
the Aliens franchise.
Comic books. Look at Vampirella became a cult classic. You had Elvira went huge, doing a talk show. Like she created her own character as a talk show host.
The Buffy comic back in the day.
Yeah, even the TV show and the movie. So yeah, I mean,
as
there's
if
plenty
like
of examples.
Disney princesses haven't been dominating Disney since like its inception. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
It's like never gonna be enough. It's never gonna be enough. Like when a little girl goes to Disneyland, what does she want to see?
But
Her favorite Disney princess.
Yes,
You see what
Cinderella,
I'm saying? And,
Jasmine,
like,
whoever it
that's been a
is.
part
Yeah,
of culture
Yeah.
since Disney's been around. So it's like, why do they keep saying there's not enough women? There's not enough. It's like, it's not true. You guys just want to make something out of nothing because you can't create something yourself. Everything has to be synthetic. It's just fake. It's engineered. It's not real. And they have to take from something else to try and make themselves successful.
Eric July was.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I did an article yesterday about Eric July was talking about the race swap for Tim Drake. He was basically saying what you were saying. They take the name of the character and then they create a whole different character. They were describing Tim Drake as street smart, and like Eric July was like, yeah, that's literally how they describe every black character on every show. It's street smart, but that's not Tim Drake. Can you pull up that story?
Yes, sir.
There's like I think it's in Chuck Dixon's Robin #1 that like right after Tim became Robin, he's talking to Batman about the responsibilities of being Robin, how like I didn't really think I was going to be Robin, yada yada yada, and he says that he's like, I'm not street smart. Like he basically says that he's like, I don't have the street skills. Like that's in his origin, and these people on Titans are describing him as street smart in their description. It's just like they're just using the name and they're trying to create a different. They're actually giving you a totally different character, but they're just giving you this character's name and using it as a skin suit.
A skin suit. That's a good way to put it.
Skin suit, dude, that's perfect.
I really like that.
Yeah, that's a Dune reference. What is it? The Trashlala. That's what they do. Hey, what does he say? I'm not sure I have what it takes. I'm not street tough. That's literally what he says. And they're describing him as street smart on the for the freaking show.
Wow.
Like this is like the second or third issue that he's actually Robin. Like it's just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, Eric July, Young Ripa. Young Rip is his YouTube channel. I've always just called him Eric July because that's what.
Yeah, I've always called him Eric July.
So, like that's just I always try to use people's names rather than unless they're going by a pseudonym, then obviously use that. But yeah, no, like it's just I mean he was so on point that and he was actually talking about like so he was talking about the race changes in general, and he was like, dude, this is being done on purpose. He was debunking the idea that like, oh, they just got the best actor for the best role, and he's like, no, you know that there's like white people out there that look like Tim Drake and are just as good as the guy that they got and could play him just as well. Like this guy didn't just wow the casting director, like they did it for a reason. He didn't explain why. He didn't say what that reason. He did a little bit. He's just like he said it's like part of the got to get rid of the white straight male base agenda, but he didn't like go further into that. And I actually hope I'd like to see him go further just to see what he thinks on that, to see what his ideas on why they're actually doing that would be interesting, because Titans has done it for a lot of people. He's talked about that with like Starfire. The what's her name? Ravager. What's her name? Ravage. And then Deathstroke, but because I guess they cast it was like a Hispanic guy, and Deathstroke is Australian, right? If I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think he's like the only one. Well, what's his name Australian? The guy from True Blood. Yeah, it's Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello. I don't know. I think he's Italian.
It's kind of an Italian last name,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So. But what's also interesting is like when you talk to like Europeans, and I'm sure Az from Heel vs. Babyface can probably attest to this, is that like here in America it's just like we're all white people, but like in Europe like it's not. It's like you're French, you're German, you're Italian, you're British. Like it's based on your nationality rather than like your skin color.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to probably head out. It's been like an hour and 20 for me. I got to take my wife to dinner. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to come on and chop it up with you guys and let me share my thoughts.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Absolutely.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Fun having you on, dude.
Yeah, it was
that?
great, man.
Yeah, I love picking your brain.
Yeah, dude. Thanks. Anytime. If you guys ever want to hang out, you guys have my info now, so hit me up, and I could even maybe get you guys on my show individually. I'd take like one guest on.
That'd be cool.
So if you guys ever, we'll work something out, and just hit me up. You guys have my info, so anytime, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
thank
great.
you.
We'll definitely have you
a
back.
good night.
Appreciate that.
Sure. All right, guys. Have fun, man. Bye, guys.
Too. Bye. Yeah, Jorge is in the chat. The Armored Otter. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be saying Jorge because he's using a pseudonym. But the Armored Otter, I got in trouble. I think we got in trouble for that. We'll ignore that. But we did get in trouble for that. I don't think rightfully so, but that's another story. Oh yeah, the Armored Otter says Joe Manganiello is American. Yeah.
I was gonna make that joke.
Italian heritage.
Yeah, he's definitely Italian.
He was Flash Thompson.
He was. Isn't that weird?
Was he in the Spider-Man movies?
Yeah, in the Raimi movies.
The first
one.
Really? Movie.
For all of the 5 seconds he's in the movie. Yeah, it's him.
Was his hair orange or red?
No, it was just spiky black.
Spiky brownish?
Okay.
Just his normal hair spiked up mid-2000s D-bags.
Well, yeah. I mean, Flash, his hair has changed. Like in the beginning, it was like an orange red, and then I think it's blonde. It goes into blonde usually, right?
Yeah, for Barry, it's changed.
Yeah.
Wally's always been a redhead, despite their best efforts.
I don't think he's always been. Yeah, I guess that Wally has, and then Wallace, right?
Yeah, and then there's Wallace West.
Yeah, Wallace.
You guys are talking about the Flash, not Flash Thompson.
Right.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
Yeah, we
know. He was. Yeah, Spencer was talking about Wally West. Wally West is the Flash. All right, so we will get into what we normally do now. I know you guys are all dying to hear what we have been doing this past week: reading, watching, playing. We'll start with Spencer Bakuli, who's hiding. He's hiding himself.
Yeah, it's because I'm eating something. Okay. I'm sure everybody can guess what I've been up to. More Persona 5 Royale, and I've also started playing, or not started playing, but I've been playing Honkai Impact 3rd. If anybody plays that,
that's the MiHoYo develops that too.
Yeah, it's another MiHoYo game, and I'm specifically only playing it because right now there's an Evangelion crossover where you can unlock Asuka. So I've been playing that, and that's basically what I've been sinking my time into this past week.
Speaking of crossovers, I used to play this Nintendo game. What is it called?
Dragalia Lost.
Yes, Dragalia Lost.
They have Joker dude.
Yeah,
you know you're going back in.
I'm like, I gotta maybe go back in because I just to get Joker. I did that. There's another game that had a Persona 5 crossover. It was the It's a traditional JRPG.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
It's like the cat travels through time or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Dang. I got it on my phone still, but I did play that when they did the Joker crossover, and I obviously got Joker because Persona 5 is just so cool. That's really cool. I still got to get you into Genshin Impact. So.
I know. If it wasn't for the Evangelion crossover, I would be further than level 3.
They've got a they're about to do. They just did a huge 1.3 update, and in a week, ton of new content's about to drop.
Yeah. All right. So, then sounds like it's a good time for me to wrap up Persona and get in on that. Good thing I'm supposedly close. Supposedly.
Dude, how far are you at now?
I am currently on the ship palace.
Okay, yeah, you're close.
Yeah, so that's what I've heard. But I've also been telling everybody here on stream that I've been close for a month and a half.
You probably still have 3 hours of 3 or 4 hours of gameplay though.
Let's do it.
I think so. Because after the ship, there's a ton of
there's the new stuff to do.
Oh yeah, I don't even know any of the. Yeah, I guess I'm just going off
the base one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you have all the royal stuff, but plus you have all the. There's a ton of cutscenes from the base game too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, just the ship alone has had 4 hours of cutscenes.
Yeah. Mark63366 says he's been watching redo of Healer. It is top tier TV.
It's good, huh?
I've heard there's some pretty good things too. Usually when there's controversy about a show,
That means it's great.
usually pretty good because people are whining about it. It sounds like it's the same complaints that we saw from Rising the Shield Hero. So
Similar ones, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, where are you watching that on? Where are you watching that?
Is that
How are you
Crunchyroll?
watching? Yeah,
Me?
Mark, tell us where.
Oh,
no,
Mark,
I'm right.
yeah, I was gonna
Mark,
say.
tell us how you're watching that. I don't think it's on Crunchyroll.
Might have to say all the high C's. if
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean.
that's. I'm thinking that maybe
Yo,
might be
ho,
the. He might have boarded Captain Jack's Black Pearl. Oh, he's saying okay.
I was coming back.
Yeah, well-
I gotta go get some water. I'll be right back.
He's watching it on YouTube, so I guess that's similar. Is it one of those things where you have to you're watching it a screen in a screen? I hate that stuff.
It's taking
I hate that stuff so
the
much,
cherry
dude.
petals falling in the background, and then the
Dude,
screen's this small.
yeah, you're like, what? What's going on?
That's how I used to watch One Piece like that. It was so.
Reveal I'm saying his name wrong here. Arvita.
Retracted his message.
But he said H something. It was H something in
Nvidia.
High dive.
High dive. There it is.
YouTube.
And YouTube. Dang, you took it away so fast, man. Okay, there it is. High dive and YouTube. Okay, is High Dive part of the Black Pearl fleet?
The Black Pearl Brigade.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure High Dub is a legal. Isn't that like through Sentai Filmworks? I'm pretty sure that's theirs.
Oh, that's Sentai. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a legal one.
So that's yeah.
There you
Sentai is
go.
who's doing it. Isn't it Sentai who's producing it, right? I think I read that in the story you did.
For Shield Hero.
No,
For
for
Redo. They're not producing it, but they licensed it to
or they're
stream it,
distributing
so they have it.
Yeah,
They're the distributor.
yeah. Oh, so it comes out every Wednesday. Oh, that's
you might not want to watch that around the fam, John.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I
mean,
put my headphones on. I
I'm
know
sure
what
you
it's
don't-
about.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay. I saw a
I just
clip
said
and I'm
it.
like, holy cow.
I just said it got the same complaints as Shield Hero. I know what's in that.
Well, Shield Hero didn't have that.
Yes, it did.
What
It had the
episode?
accusation.
Not quite the
It
same.
didn't have the actual physical act. It had the accusation of the act.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I edited Spencer's story. I figured it out quickly. And I think it happens multiple times. Sounds like.
Yeah, both ways. Every which way, but Wednesday.
All right, Don. How far are you in? Goblin Slayer. Mark.
Ooh,
also
yeah,
has,
dude.
Has that too.
Yeah, it's the very
Um,
beginning.
But yeah, Don. How far are you in Wheel of Time?
Wheel of Time. I am done with chapter 2, but I can't
Man, all
get
that
caught
free
up
time,
in
all that free time you had this weekend.
Here's what happens. You have free time, and then the significant other or girlfriend or whoever you're with says, hey, there's snow in the mountains. Let's go. And then all that free time just goes away.
Oh, did you
make
go skiing?
them drive and you read while they're driving?
No.
So you went skiing
No.
or snowboarding or whatever you do?
Diving
went to
in
go
the
see it.
snow is
Yeah.
usually what I do. But, yeah.
Diving in the snow. So you're like belly surfing on the snow? I mean, that sounds fun. Do you got a sled?
No, I don't have any of
So
that.
your stomach is your sled?
No. I bring the camera and I take pictures of her in the snow.
No.
The
Okay.
photographer boyfriend.
Duty, yes. Okay, but yeah, the other thing that I'm getting involved in, researching this stupid
So hold on, I gotta read this.
AMC, Nokia, all that stuff.
Mark 63366. You didn't see this one. He says, "I have snow in my front yard. Just toss her out the door." I got some too. I just shoveled the driveway, or I shoveled the sidewalk the other day. I'm just letting the driveway melt because we don't really need it. We park on the street anyways.
We don't have it much in California, so whenever it happens, it's an event.
This was the first significant snowfall we had in 2 years. in the DC area.
Yeah, same here in Chicago.
That's actually surprising. Chicago.
We have
2
not had
years?
this much. Yeah, we have not had
Wow.
this much snow in a while.
We're supposed to get some more on Sunday, I think.
I think we
Something
are
like that.
too. Yeah.
So it sounds like it's all lake effect stuff. So no.
Mhm.
All right. You were saying something about Nokia?
Oh, Nokia, AMC,
Oh.
GameStop, researching and diving into that with all the available monies that I have.
Still holding the line? Is that what we're
Yeah.
doing?
Oh,
Line.
yeah, we are.
I saw
Diamond
something
hands.
that the guy from what's his name?
David
Paper
Portnoy?
Hands Portnoy?
Yeah, Paper
Portnoy.
Hands
I saw some like idiotic tweet from him. He was just like, I sold when it was low and I lost $700,000. It was like, I thought the whole idea was to hold.
Yeah, he's an idiot because guess what? He bought back in today.
Dumbass.
It's like, what are you doing? I was like, what is like? I thought the whole point was to hold. Why are you selling? What's going on? I was like, what?
Dude,
So,
a day
it's
ago,
like,
he was like,
what?
"Oh yeah, I'm gonna hold till I go completely broke."
Yeah,
and
right?
then, like a day later, he's like, "I sold it all."
Yeah.
Oh.
And he said he lost 700,000. I was like, I was like,
waited a day.
he was like, what are you doing here, bro? Because he was trying to make some like, I'm not a suit, yo. And it's like, you might not be a suit, but like, that was a pretty
You're damn
dumb
sure an
move.
idiot. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not want to call the guy an idiot. He's built like a huge freaking.
Well, yeah,
like,
but you can
platform
make an
and-
idiotic move.
Yeah, it was a dumb move for sure. I was
But-
just like, strange. But I mean, we're all guilty of being stupid.
So,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
Here was the funny
Modus
thing.
operandi.
Every media outlet, the day after, and all of this spoke about Reddit talking about silver. Silver is
Oh,
going
I
to be
saw
the next
that.
big thing, and I'm like, where is this on Reddit? You
It's not.
dumbasses!
It was
I've
a
never seen
psyop.
such blatant fake media reporting.
Oh, it's
Oh,
still
come
going,
on, man.
buddy.
Yeah,
Oh.
And
yeah, you have. Yeah, you have.
Well, it's just like 2
Yeah.
seconds of just scrolling. Any one of them could have known that. Oh, this is like for. Okay, yeah, I'm exaggerating, but like this is like the most recent one where it's like so blatant.
It's real. I mean, I mean, Spencer pointed this out. None of these people like literally put evidence in like their stories anymore. Like
Or
half of
effort.
them are just, yeah. It's
Let's
like,
go. I heard
well,
this.
like
Here you go.
just look at the stuff that they reacted to, like all the like the media blitz that they did to try and cover for Star Wars. They didn't include any of the tweets where she actually called white people racist. None of those publications did.
None
They're
of
just like,
them.
oh, look at these tweets. They're fine. It's like, dude, those tweets
Like
are
you're cherry
fine.
picking here.
Yeah, those aren't even the tweets that were in our article.
Yeah, it's not even the
Just
ones we were talking about.
pick some random one. So like, I mean, we see this on like a daily basis. Just we were just talking about this with Chris Pratt. I mean, these people just like create BS and just run with it. So I mean, what about says facts don't? They don't. Facts don't matter. The truth doesn't matter to them when like you hear these people say all the time, my truth. Well, no, your truth is when you're saying my truth, you're saying my opinion, and that's not what truth means. Truth is not an opinion. It is a constant that a lot of us are searching for and finding. But there is stuff that we can actually see and we know is truthful. But when you're saying my truth, that's not truth. It's opinion.
You know? God.
Yeah, like we can like those Chris Pratt tweets aren't real. The one that is real is the made in Bank of America pen that says made in China.
Yeah.
It's absolutely hilarious.
100%
It's
great,
so
yeah.
It's freaking like it's a meme. That is a meme.
It really should have been. Like, I'm surprised it didn't get more traction. Like, I'm surprised it's the first time I ever saw that.
Yeah, when was that from?
That was from like 2013, 2014. Like,
Okay,
it's an
wow.
old one, right? He's
Yeah,
ahead of the game on this one.
Yeah, he was. Wow. Okay, yeah,
that before
totally
he was
was.
married to Schwarzenegger's
Mhm.
Yeah,
kid. Yeah.
yeah. Before
Yeah, daughter?
Catherine, yeah.
Yeah.
When it was
Yeah,
Anna Faris.
Roof Korean is here. How's it going, Roof Korean? I don't know if you've been here.
Roof
or how long you've
Korean.
He's
here.
been here, yeah.
But he says the push to force my truth into facts is scary. Yeah, it completely is. I mean, that's what we're facing right now. That's what it is. 100%. You see it with like the Punisher. Even Jerry Conway, who's co-creator of the Punisher, is just like straight up lying about like what that symbol means to people. So it's everywhere. I mean, I feel like every day we have at least 2 or 3 stories covering this stuff where people are just like just lying, or it's just some kind of like disinformation. I'm getting super like cynical on this stuff. I think a lot of it is
paranoid.
Yeah, that might be another word too. I think a lot of it just really are like disinformation campaigns, like sicko marketing stuff. I got a video coming out tomorrow that I think just sheds even more light on this. They're eating their own, and one of their own is like basically exposing them on like what's going on. So look forward to that tomorrow. It's about this promising young woman movie that came out last January at Sundance. So I know that's like super like, what movie is that? But it really exposes what these Hollywood studios are doing and how they are using using attacking fans to push their movies, whether it's to get people to the box office, whether it's to win awards, and ultimately to push their agenda, which is what they're trying to do. And they try and use and this is part of their marketing campaign, and it's absolutely sickening. And I think Disney is really probably one of the biggest contributors of it. And I think that's honestly why AT&T was a little refreshing when they announced the Snyder Cut stuff, because it was almost like a reversal of just companies shitting on their fans, which is what we're so used to seeing. And I think that's why I 100% believe this. I also think that's why people are liking The Mandalorian a lot more. It's because they also see that like Favreau is talking about like respecting the fans, listening to the fans, wanting to know what they're saying, wanting to please them, wanting to entertain them, instead of like Ryan Johnson calling them man babies. I forget what JJ Abrams says. We got a story about that on the website, but I mean, he said like horrible things about the fans too. So that's just what you're used to from them. And Favreau is just a breath of fresh air when he's talks about the Star Wars fans and wanting to actually entertain them.
I mean, like Saturday, just the outpouring of appreciation for Gina Carano to get it trending the entire day. The We Love Cara Dune thing that was happening.
Yeah, the Cara Dune hour.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Like, how often do we get a star who likes their show, who likes their fans, who interacts with their fans?
I'll argue the fact that she likes. I mean, she might like being on the show, but she said she hasn't even watched the second season yet.
Yeah,
and that was like a week ago. So,
so who knows?
I'm not.
Maybe
like,
she caught up since
I'm just pointing that out. But she definitely like has respect. Like I think you're right. She definitely has respect for the fans who aren't harassing her constantly 24/7, which is what these people do. I mean, it's just crazy. Like Spencer's covered it. I've covered it. You've seen it. Don, Drew's seen it. We've all seen it. But the one thing we talked about this a little bit earlier, I do want to reiterate is that she does I think her star has really risen because she's like said to these people like, no, like F off. I'm not like going to conform to the Borg. I'm not going to be what does Picard say when he's
assimilate?
Assimilate, yeah.
Assimilate, yeah. I will not be assimilated.
Yeah, she's like, no. But yeah, I guess I kind of got off a sidetrack here. So yeah, we started talking GameStop. Was there anything else that you watched?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot that's where we started.
Continuing on the P90X gig as well.
Okay. Do it. Get it.
Awesome.
See what I look like after 90 days.
Call you Dune Theory.
I don't know if Drew, are you still here? I'm guessing no. All right. We'll just leave him on here leave him here though. As for me, yeah, I've still been playing Genshin Impact. I did start rewatching My Hero watched the first.
Oh yeah,
Spencer knows this. I watched the first episode again last night, trying to do something like watch with my wife, and then that's something that's family friendly. That like
Definitely.
Georgiana if she's watching it, it's like a good show for her to watch. There might be some scary moments. The first villain is kind of scary. He might be one of the more
the sludge monster guy.
Yeah, he might be one of the more like. He's also kind of one of the more powerful villains, I feel like, too.
He literally could only be taken down by All Might, so yeah.
Yeah. But twice. He has to beat him twice.
Oh, he has to beat him twice. That's right.
So I was watching that, and like I was looking at this, like I was asking Spencer, I was like, holy crap. Like, is the doctor who tells like Midoriya that he's not going to get a quirk, the same doctor from like the manga that we have? I don't think we've seen him in the anime aside from that scene that we see later in the manga that like they had to change his name because of all the controversy. Who's like All for One's like All for One, All for One's like scientist guy. So it looked really like the character looked really. It might just be like a generic doctor. Then he decided to like use that and make him like a villain or whatever.
Reuse him. Yeah.
Yeah, or reuse like a similar
Who knows?
design.
I mean, I know like with One Piece, Oda will draw something tiny like that in the background of like one chapter, and then 7 years later, it plays a super important part in the story. So maybe Hirokoshi's is going the same way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was like, holy crap. Spencer, did you see this like doctor guy? Is he the same one?
It looks like him. Like I had to go look. I told John last night. I was like, I can't remember. And after that, when I looked at it, I'm pretty convinced it is.
Yeah. I was like, it looks really similar. So yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. And I mean, I really do like that first episode. It gets you. So I watched that and that was really fun.
Such a good setup for everything.
I just love how like Midoriya is just such a fanboy, and he's like, no, you can't leave. I need to ask you if I can still be a hero with I'm quirkless.
Dude, I just love his like little shaking in the chair when he's watching the TV with the toy.
Yeah,
and he's so excited.
When he's watching the video and they're like reporting that All Might has like saved 100 people, and then the first time you see him, he's like coming up off this mountain, he's like laughing, and the reporter's like, and he's laughing, and it was like All Might's debut, and he's like,
he's like, hero of justice, dude, the best.
Yes. And you're just like, oh my, like you feel like that emotion that he does because he's watched like they give
inspiration
they give you that context that All Might that he's watched this video like hundreds, dozens of times, and you feel that same emotion that Midoriya has because you're just like, yes, All Might, he's just saving people from a train wreck.
It's just so cool.
And what's great is he's saving people from a train wreck because that's what Superman does, right?
Exactly.
And I was
classic,
like,
stopping the train, classic panel.
Yeah, I know a lot of the veteran comic book people hate on that because the train would be up in the air. It would be causing lots of damage. But yeah. He's also like you also see the determination with him already when he's walking through the tunnel right before the slime guy attacks him. After he's been bullied by my boy Kachan. He's just like, I don't care. I'm still gonna I'm gonna do it. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go to UA, and you just love to see that. Like, doesn't matter. And this is kind of what I try and talk about as well. Is that these people can attack you, do all this stuff to you. It doesn't matter. It's all external. If you have that internal fortitude, which does come from practice and training and developing that self-discipline, like the Jedi, like George Lucas talks about with the Jedi. These people they can't really hurt you. So you see that he's physically attacked by Kachan in that episode. He's mentally bludgeoned. All this stuff he's just coming at Izuku, and you see it. He's kind of you see it. It is affecting him, and that stuff does. But he's already mentally fortified himself and internally fortified himself. And then he goes back to that moment. He's like, this was the moment when I was going, this was my dream. I'm going to keep on it. And you see him just kind of just like his posture gets like straighter. He starts walking more confidently, and he's just like, doesn't matter. I'm like, they can't touch me. I'm still gonna do it. And I just love that. That's just such a good message in that first episode.
Yeah, just that first episode alone.
Yeah. So My Hero. If you haven't like started watching it, watch it.
Get on it.
Season 5's coming out in March, so you can catch up by then.
Ignore the
couple
stands.
Mark63366 is saying that Star Wars girl picked the Men of Trigun as being okay looking on Yellow Flash's stream.
I don't know.
The Men of
What?
Trigun?
I don't know. I need to.
Trigun-
How,
Like
what? Which men? Like Vash and
92 or something?
well, I guess there's Vash, there's Wolfwood, and then there's his brother. Yeah, I guess a lot of girls do like, or a lot of women do like, Trigun men. I've noticed. So, good choice on Yellow Flash.
I'm not familiar with Trigun. I'll be honest.
It's great.
It's classic.
Good old anime western. Cyberpunk
Oh, dude.
western.
Yeah, it's got. It looks like it's got a lot of Yeah, this guy looks like a lot of other anime characters I see with the glasses and like the big huge collar.
Oh yeah, he inspired it. He was one.
Yeah,
He was like the
inspired it,
first.
yeah.
Like the trench coat or whatever. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's got like the glasses that gives him the nerd look, but then he's also got like the suave coolness of like a Han Solo, or a Lando. I feel like just
On
like
the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is he a villain?
No, he's just a complete dork.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, just the way he's sitting here, I guess. He's got his gun behind him. He's
Definitely got the cool appeal, but then his like personality is super not Lando at all.
Oh, I see him like he's got a shotgun to his head, and he looks like he's a complete. He's just like ah!
Yeah, he's got like the sparkle eyes.
Yeah. Alexander Vidakovich is asking, did you guys watch Resident Alien? I have not watched Resident Alien. I know Alan Tudyk is in that, but I have not seen that
I
yet.
have not seen it yet. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one he turned down.
It's sci-fi.
For.
No. That was people trying to explain away the fact that he wasn't appearing in Andor, which is absolute. Like, I don't buy that at all because they asked him about that in that interview, and he was just like, "No, it didn't affect me being on Andor." But yeah, I don't. So I don't buy that. I don't like. I just think. I mean, the fact that they're not having K2SO in that show is just absolutely appalling to me. I mean, it's based off of a Dark Horse comic, if I remember correctly, Resident Alien, but I haven't seen it.
You're right. Yeah, it's based on a comic book. I haven't read it and I haven't seen it yet. So
It's
maybe I'll
sci-fi.
check it out if it's any good.
Sci-fi. I don't. Like,
I'll wait for the reviews.
Yeah, I think the last good thing they did was Dark Matter. So, has they've done anything else good since then?
Magical Girl Friendship Squad.
Yeah.
I mean, there was this by this person.
No, that's not good.
No.
So this is interesting. The debut episode had more people watching it than Batwoman. TV series finale says
Not even surprised.
1.079 million viewers with a 0.17 rating. So the rating's just a little higher than Batwoman, but it had almost 400,000, 500,000 more people.
Something like that.
Yeah, Mark 63366 says Dark Matter was their swan song. They had it, dude. They had this really good. I really loved it. I can't believe they didn't do more of it. There was a 6-episode miniseries. I think it was called like Ascension. I think is what it was called.
Never heard of it.
And it was. I watched it on Netflix actually, but it was originally sci-fi, and Ascension. It basically it looks like it's taking place like right around like the 60s, and so basically these people are on a spaceship that is going. That is like the last hope of humanity because they think Earth is being destroyed or whatever, and there was like a bunch of twists and turns, and it was really freaking good. And it looks like it came out in 2014. On Sci-Fi is what Wikipedia is telling me, but Wikipedia even says you can't trust them. But I think they're probably right in this case. But yeah, but that was like, yeah, Mark 6366 is saying dude, there was like the twists, like there was the first twist that I guess a lot of people probably would see that coming, but then there was a second twist that like most people probably didn't see coming, and then it just ended, and you're just like it ended with this huge cliffhanger, and you're just like, are you kidding me? How am I not getting more? But yeah, I definitely I don't know if it's still on Netflix or not, but I definitely recommend that because that's some really good sci-fi. Like that was like legit, like really interesting. Because it dealt with like it had like that kind of I like to call it palace intrigue that Dune has a little bit of, but you have it on the spaceship and the people that work on the spaceship, where you have like the people who are in charge. Because it's all like military, so you like military ranks, but you also have like their families and stuff, and all these people were chosen to be on there and recruited. And then obviously you have the people who are like working in the engine rooms and stuff like that. So you got a little bit of like class struggle kind of there. But then there's also like while you have all this going on, there's also what usually I think makes a pretty good show is you got like a murder mystery. So like there's murder that's happening and you're trying to figure out like what was going on, and then you have there's like within that murder mystery there's a sci-fi element very similar to The Expanse, where you get that sci-fi element that develops out of that murder mystery. Yeah, Mark 6366 has a better description. It followed people on a generational ship in between galaxies. The people on the ship would die before they arrived at their destination. So like the original people who were launched the ship were never going to make it to the destination. Their whole job was to ensure that they continued reproducing in order to have their like great grandkids get there when they arrived. But yeah, it was really, really good. I said I love murder mysteries. I say I love murder. This is different.
Someone will clip that.
But you can probably chop it up and be like, I love murder when I said I love murder mysteries.
Out of context.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering your name.
Revuel Arvida.
Yeah. Top 5 of winter 2020. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Redo of Healer is number 2. Attack on Titan. I have to get into Attack on. I know Jorge.
The new season's up. Yeah.
Is a huge fan of Attack on Titan. I saw that season 3 is up. I know it's on Crunchyroll. It's not on Crunchyroll.
I think it's on Hulu too.
It used to be on Netflix, but I don't know if the third one is.
I don't watch the anime.
Log Horizon, Destruction of the Round
Log
Table.
Horizon's good.
That one I'll watch.
That is good. And
I
then
like that
Wonder Egg Priority. What is Log Horizon?
It is.
It's the dude that gets reincarnated into an RPG environment, and he has to build a team, and he has
it's
to.
an isekai, or what is it? Yeah, however you say it. Isekai.
Yeah, it's like him and his like team. It's like him and a couple friends are players of this MMO, and then the game updates, and all of a sudden they find themselves like not just them, but like everybody who was logged in at the time finds themselves inside the game.
Yeah, it's like Sword Art, but like
sounds like Sword Art.
Yeah,
but better.
Okay, it's better. Alexander Vidakovich says, "I saw a redo of Healer. It's basically hentai, but it's."
You're there for the plot.
But yeah, so yeah, I watched My Hero, and I've been playing Genshin. Like I'm doing Asian stuff. I'm not really consuming anything Western. So my sister-in-law was trying to get me to watch Expanse, but I heard it like absolutely tanks at the end of this last season. But I don't know. I didn't even like there was like one episode that I liked in the last season, and I didn't really like the survival aspect of. I didn't like that it turned into.
Doesn't Drew really like The Expanse?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I didn't really like how it turned into like I felt like what The Walking Dead is, where it's just like a survival in the pyramid thing, and I was just like, nah. I wanted it to be. I don't know. I was really hoping for more like mystery and exploration and more sci-fi stuff, and it was just more like we got to survive in this pyramid until like the machine stuff wears out or whatever. Mark 63366 says Expanse season 5 went intersectional. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It's Hollywood.
Yeah, not at all.
And it's Amazon, which somehow a book selling company became the largest corporation on the planet. It's kind of crazy how that happened. All right, so we talked Star Wars. We talked a little bit of we've talked about a bunch of stuff today already. Talked Chris Pratt. I mean, we still kind of got an hour to go here.
Wait, we got to talk about this WandaVision thing and
Sure.
how it connects to Star Wars. Because I had the time to think about this.
Hold on, give me some context here. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
so
The real villain of WandaVision is Snoke. That's where he went after he died.
freaking dumbness. Okay, so I'm thinking this is really dumb of Elizabeth Olsen to say, but she says that
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what we're talking
Yeah,
about. Okay,
so-
yeah.
the thing that's going to happen is a
That's
Luke
stupid.
level of cameo that's going to happen.
So,
sometime in the show.
I actually went and looked for that, and I do think that I think the media is a little bit taking that out of context. So she's asked by whoever, I forget what the magazine was or whoever it was that she was doing the interview with. They ask her like, is WandaVision going to have like a Luke level surprise? And she just says yes.
Okay.
That's what she says. And then she like talks. Then I have it in the. Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
The WandaVision story that I did. I have that up. So all the headlines are like, it's going to have a Luke level surprise, and I was kind of right there with you until I actually like saw what was actually happening.
Oh, that's the Spider-Man rumor.
So everyone's doing that based off of the question, and she literally just says yes to it. Like we're gonna like.
Yeah, they kind of reeled her into that one though.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks. It's like, okay, because I don't think anything in the Marvel universe is Luke level.
Someone was telling me that I forget who it was I was talking with, but they were like Robert Downey Jr. is like the only thing because he's the big cheese of the MCU.
Even then, I don't think so.
There was
I
this.
just don't think it's on the same level.
There was
No,
a
it's not. I
specific
agree.
set of circumstances which led to that reveal of Luke to be as big as it was in The Mandalorian. And it was the disrespect of that character in The Last Jedi, the trashing of it later on in The Rise of Skywalker, The Rise of Palpatine, and this whole media and fandom kind of war going on. No character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had that kind of like
It hasn't been. I
offline,
mean,
out of
yeah.
film journey. You know,
Star Wars has been around since the 70s. The MCU has been around since 2008. So
yeah.
that,
I know that. I think that's a lot more to do with it. Is
Yeah.
this, like legacy of Luke being a hero. Like we just don't. I don't see it for the MCU.
Star Wars is also like one of the biggest. Like obviously, Gone with the Wind is like the biggest movie ever that we've ever had here. But like Star Wars is right up there. No, Gone with the Wind I think is still like number one if you like look at everything, and I think Star Wars is like right up there in the top 5. I don't even think these. I don't think the MCU stuff is there yet. If you look at like ticket sale, like number of tickets sold,
or like highest grossing.
No, I think it like I don't know. I think it's like people like saw it in the theaters, like tickets sold. I don't know if they track that, but I think that's like what people say with Gone with the Wind. Yeah, people are saying Ultron. Ultron is not Luke level, but yeah.
What?
So I totally. So
No.
It was TV Line. She was talking to TV Line, and TV Line reports Olsen was asked if WandaVision has something similar in store to Skywalker's return, to which she responded with a quick yes. Like that's what all those headlines were going with. And then here I messed up with the quotes, it looks like, on the editing. She then elaborated, I'm really excited for viewers to see what or who is coming. Like, that's all she says. Yes,
That's
I'm really
totally
excited.
yeah.
And then
And
Jack Schaefer says, I encourage all fans to settle in because there's more coming.
Yes, the headlines totally blew us out of proportion. This makes it sound like we're just going to get a cameo or something surprising. So yeah, Ultron could fit that. like surprising, but I would never consider it.
We already got the Ultron name drop, though. We already got Ultron name drop 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, but if you saw him, like if he physically showed up and you had to fight him,
I don't know. Ultron isn't surprising. I'm not surprised. That's not like, oh yeah.
No, I don't. But see, I don't think she's saying that's like that's the whole thing. Is like it's definitely not a Luke level surprise, but that's not what she's saying. She's just saying I'm excited to see who's coming. Like somebody's going to show up. So to me, that could be anybody from Evan Peters Quicksilver to Ultron, and it'd be cool.
We know he's showing. We've seen that. Like we're gonna talk leaks here, but we know there's leaks. So we know he is showing up. Who he's playing is another story, but he definitely looks like Quicksilver. He's got he even looks like the Tommy kid.
Dude, yeah.
He got the hair. He's got the spiked hair, same as
the blue
Tommy.
Book accurate Quicksilver. Thank you.
Comic book accurate twins.
I mean,
Chris Neville asks, "Does Elizabeth even understand the Luke comparison?" She's 31. Yes.
No, I mean like
you would think
the amount of garbage that the fandom has gone through to get to that moment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she understands the depth of what fandom has gone through in order to get that moment and be like, holy cow, we actually got something. It's just
Master Yoda is in the chat. Thank you for joining us, Master Yoda. Appreciate that. He says, interesting either way it would be, and then ... We're gonna have to commune with the Force to figure out what Master Yoda is telling us. Maybe he'll tell Qui-Gon to.
I mean, the leaks we have seen.
We didn't even talk about that with the Kenobi's show. The rumors that Qui-Gon is going to show, like Liam Neeson is going to show up as Qui-Gon, when they've literally show in Star Wars Rebels that like he cannot manifest as a Force ghost, and explains why he can't. Like, get out of here! Don't spit in my face.
That's all they do.
But yeah, so this is the what she says here. But yeah, I was reading WDW Pro on Pirates and Princesses, and what was his story on? I forget what I think it was in his Mark Hamill. Yeah, it was in his Mark Hamill compares Galaxy's Edge blue milk to Pepto-Bismol. And he was just using an old photo of him like drinking that blue stuff from Galaxy's Edge. And he says, reminds me of a commercial from Pepto-Bismol. I think we covered that like a year ago.
Yeah, it sounds really familiar.
But the picture resurfaced, and he looks like he doesn't like the drink, but he says it tasted pretty good. I think he said it tasted like crap, though, originally. I don't remember. I can't remember. So WDW Pro, like when he started talking about WandaVision in this article, which is kind of, I thought was interesting. He said, meanwhile, did you know that WandaVision is now marketing that it too will be featuring a cameo just as big and awesome as Luke Skywalker appearing in The Mandalorian? Of course. That's basically impossible considering Luke Skywalker returning was the pop culture event of December, putting The Mandalorian at the top streaming spot on all streaming services for the first time ever. But it is interesting that they're trying to build up that sort of a belief for WandaVision. Kind of makes you wonder if my dissenting review on that last episode, he crapped on episode 4, wasn't so far out of the mainstream. I don't have WandaVision streaming numbers just yet, but I'm looking very forward to seeing how Marvel is doing compared with The Mandalorian. And I'm pulling for WandaVision. I'm just not convinced yet that it has the compelling story needed to get Marvel into a successful new space. I agree with him here. I'm not. You
would have to compare season 1 Mandalorian to season 1 WandaVision.
Right, but I'm not. I'm still I'm not seeing the hype on my end. So I'm not seeing hype for WandaVision.
I'm kind of in John's realm too. So you got Paul Bettany trying to hype up episode 4. Everyone's got to see it, right? And now you've got Elizabeth Olsen hyping up this thing that's going to happen with her.
Well, you have TV Line feeding her a line that they know is going to be picked up by all the people Luke Skywalker comparison. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they're doing PR for a show that it feels more. I don't know. Instead of like doing their job, it feels more like a pleading thing.
Yeah, they're doing interviews mid-season. They're doing interviews like during episode 4 or 5, when usually that stuff's usually done in the beginning to promote the show with the first episode, or at the end to try and get people to binge afterwards, I feel like. But now we're seeing them. Oh, we lost Spencer. Now we're seeing them doing like mid-episode. Now, yeah, I think you're on the money here. I think WGW Pro, I kind of in agreement there with him as well. Something fishy is going on with WandaVision. I don't know if it doesn't seem like as big of a hit as what they might be making it out to be. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people canceled Disney Plus after Mando. We had that article from, I forget where it was from. I think it might have been Variety or one of the trades, where they were actually saying that the biggest problem that these streaming services are having is churn, is that people watch the show and then cancel, and then they don't keep it. Oh, we both hit the button at the same time there. Yeah, I was trying to get you in. You were putting yourself in.
Well, remember D23 2019?
No.
All the hype was for. Okay, yes, you were in California. I don't know why you didn't go.
I just don't remember it. I don't know what we're talking about.
The hype was for Kenobi.
Yeah.
Well, at the end, yeah, when
with Ewan, yeah.
But ultimately, it was all for the Mandalorian, because the Mandalorian had something to show during the thing.
We got that pretty awesome trailer for Mando with like with IG like doing the freaking spin. Like, that was freaking cool. Yeah, I love that trailer. That leak trailer was freaking dope.
Yeah, that was really good.
It's too bad
awesome hasn't kept up.
that trailer was really good. So much promise. Master Yoda says our thumbnail is mildly disturbing. Yeah, some people on Twitter were like, "Your thumbnail is the image you picked is trash." Yeah, well, I did that on purpose. It's just my dry sense of humor coming out.
I thought it was funny.
Roof Crane's over here talking about the Rogue One trailer with Ira Bell. Cut that out.
Not in the film.
Yeah. Ira Bell. No, dude, that was such a... Dude, I'm so glad they cut that. It's such a smug garbage line. Oh, my gosh.
It's such one of those, like name of the film lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, wow, we were truly gone with the wind. Like, it's one of those kind of those kind of lines.
Dude, it's a WandaVision pun joke.
I am the Rogue One.
Yeah. But yeah, I we'll see what happens with WandaVision. I don't think it's it'll be interesting to see what Nielsen comes out with, because Nielsen is now tracking a lot of this stuff, and whether how good WandaVision is doing. Especially like looking at maybe where it is at and like comparing it to like CW stuff. But yeah, to me, it's kind of weird that they're out doing a press tour for like episode 5, like mid-season. It just seems strange to me. Tour. And it's just like, please watch our show. Please. Like, there's so much cool stuff. I really think people just like, dude, the first 2 episodes were like not funny. And I'm noping out because this ain't going anywhere.
I honestly think they're doing tracking on that and finding out that fans do not like not knowing anything that's going on in the show.
I mean, that's pretty much a part of storytelling, right? You give some kind of I can never remember the phrase that starts with an E.
Yeah, but for like 2 episodes, you know absolutely nothing, and it doesn't make any connectivity sense.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars literally gives you a scroll like telling you like this is what's happening. I mean, The Last Jedi lied about it, but in the original trilogy, it gives you a scroll telling you like this is what's going on, to set up the opening action sequence, right? Like it gives you that. I can never remember what this freaking word is called. It's a literary term. Starts with it starts with an E.
Epilogue.
No, epilogue is at the end. I can't remember.
Prologue?
Prologue's in the beginning. No, it's I can't remember it.
An interlude.
someone in the chat will tell me what Mark Lerseth would know because I think he told me what it was last time if he was here. But yeah, so that I just like it wasn't. I didn't find it funny, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other people didn't find those pun jokes funny either. And I really do feel like people would have noped out. Like I would have noped out if we weren't reviewing it on Friday.
I'd probably still stick around. I just like the creepy setting.
And Mark6366 says WandaVision is too short. 20 minutes is too short for a weekly TV show.
That too.
I agree.
Definitely.
Yeah, they put it at a sitcom level. The sitcom humor sucks. They really like if you dude, just get. I mean, as much as the guy is like a horrible person, or has said horrible things, get the guy who literally has been doing sitcoms for CBS for like 50 years. The guy who did 2.5 Men, like that guy's the producer, Chuck Lorre. Yeah, dude, that guy's on like every freaking like he did the Big Bang Theory too, which that stuff's not funny.
Nope.
But the 2.5 Men stuff is hilarious. Like that, like get those people if you're gonna write sitcom stuff because those people are great. I don't know. What are you disagreeing with, Alexander? I don't like. Tell me what you're disagreeing with.
He's probably disagreeing with your take on WandaVision.
Oh yeah.
I think Alexander
WandaVision.
Yeah, he liked that. Yeah. Yeah, we know that. He's JM 2021. Thank you for joining us. You say Chris Pratt doesn't deserve all this bullcrap on social media just for having different political views. I don't even think he has like different political views. Like we said earlier,
political views.
We don't know. He doesn't talk about him.
I don't know what his political views are. The only thing I know is he's worn a "Don't Tread on Me" shirt one time, and he went to a church at some point, and then he has a farm. He has a farm. He donated to Democrat Tulsi Gabbard. So he's I don't think which we talked about. He meant that earlier, or Spencer said that earlier. Like Spencer pulled that. It's all public record.
It's all there.
And that's who he donated to in 2020, right? 2019 or whatever.
So, whatever the last cycle was, yeah.
Yeah. And they're probably going after him because he doesn't have pronouns in his bio. That's not surprising. Not surprising. The temerity of these people to even waste their energy and time with this cultist SJW mob cesspool echo chamber. Brie Larson is different. She said the same foul stupid crap that got her slammed. Yeah, see, this is something that I was trying to explain when I was on Popcorn Planet with Andy Signor, and some people I don't think really got that. There is a difference between what the people are doing to Chris Pratt and Gina Carano and how we've reported on Brie Larson and Christina Ariel. Those people have actually said that stuff. Like Brie Larson has actually said that stuff. Christina Ariel has actually said that stuff, and we reported on it, and that stuff is wrong. Whereas Chris Pratt, they're making stuff up to try and destroy him. Gina Carano, they're making stuff up to try and destroy her. They literally just create things to try and destroy these people. Whereas, we're actually reporting on stuff that these people actually said. There's literally video of Brie Larson getting up saying, I don't want to hear the opinion of 40-year-old white dudes. Or whatever it is. 40-year-old. I don't know if she does.
Something like that.
Did she say white dudes? Something like that. I don't know if she says
white dudes. She says white guys.
Yeah.
Or white guys or something.
Something like that.
And white women too. White women.
Yeah. So,
white people.
And she had to go and backtrack that. She was like, "Oh, I just wanted more seats at the table." And she went out and trying to clarify that. So it wasn't as horrible as what she actually said in the first place. She never apologized for it. Christina Ariel never apologized for it, but and they won't. So
that's why they got hired.
Yeah, but yeah, there is a difference there. There's a huge difference. What those people have said is actually wrong, and what they're trying to do to Gina and Chris is stuff they haven't even done. That they just lying about, which is what they do. I mean, even the fact, I don't want. I'm not trying to point you out here, Jay, but the fact that you even said that you think they're going after Chris Pratt because he has different political views means that like at least some part, I think, of their narrative has struck you. Like you think that he actually has like different political views from these people when we don't even like he literally
We don't even know what they are.
Gabbard, and we don't even know. I don't know what his political views are. He hasn't. I haven't seen an interview with him talking about his political
He never
views.
talks about it. Yeah.
Talk about it. So even at that point, they're like that's already like sunk in to the zeitgeist that people think that he's somehow like a conservative because
say it enough times and it becomes real. Apparently,
yeah, because he wore a "Don't Tread on Me" shirt, which was literally a flag during the Revolutionary War in the United States of America. Like it was literally on the flag. And then he's also went to a church. Like seriously, that's literally the examples that they have to try and like say that he has different political views. It's just insane. And then Chris Neville says Pratt won't publicly bend the knee, so they must destroy him for his defiance. Yeah, and I mean Chris Pratt was also standing up for James Gunn when he deleted like 20,000 tweets, and then he also like was communicating with like convicted pedophiles on his blog, which no one likes to talk about. Because they're just like, oh, it's just tweets. No, it wasn't just tweets. And that's not to say he should. I'm not arguing whether or not he should have been fired, but it wasn't just tweets. There was a lot of other stuff.
But he got fired.
He did get fired, but I'm not saying that he should have or he shouldn't have. But he did. That happened. But it also wasn't just for tweets, and no one wants to hear that either. They're like, oh, it was just tweets. It was just joke tweets. No, there was a lot of other stuff as well. It wasn't just tweets. And Chris Pratt was defending James Gunn for that. He was asking for James Gunn to come back to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which he is. And he's doing like a Christmas special too, right? That Feige announced.
That's filming at the same time, yeah.
Same time, yeah. Which I don't know about that. When has a Christmas special been good though?
There's a first time for everything.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see. I mean, I like the first Guardians. I enjoyed it quite a bit until the end.
I love it.
The stupid dance-off scene.
I like the dance-off.
Simpsons Christmas specials?
I think those aren't really like Christmas specials per se. They're just Christmas episodes. Like, I think John's talking about like, this is the Dragon Ball Christmas special, like event type.
Like the Star Wars,
like
Christmas
the Star Wars
special,
one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where it's like a huge like event franchise thing. They did just do the Lego one. I didn't watch that, so because it was like Rey traveling through time, and I was like, this is stupid. I'm not watching that.
When you talk about the Dragon Ball Christmas special, I'm like, Dragon Ball Z abridged Christmas special, because that one is hilarious.
Haven't seen it.
Okay. No, it's on YouTube. Just check it out.
I haven't seen that one either. I did want to talk about this. I put this up. I thought this was kind of cool. Total War is doing a Warhammer 3, and like
good.
The trailer is like here. I'll just share this right here. Let's see if I can do this.
Do it better than Blizzard did when they tried again.
This freaking like I'm not gonna play the trailer because we're gonna get flagged for it. But I just want to share this like freaking. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Dude.
That is cool.
That is really rad.
That looks like high-tech Balrog.
I was going to say, yeah. Balrog definitely.
Minus the fire.
I love the crown being like see-through energy.
Whoops. It is a corn, what is the name here?
Cornucopia.
It is it's like a blood something. Bloodthirster. Corn Bloodthirster is what that's called.
Corn Bloodthirster? Dude, that's awesome. That's
so
a rad
Corn
name.
So Corn is like a chaos god. He's like the chaos god of rage. And so like that's why it's a bloodthirster, but he like it's from like the god of corn is the corn is the god is that god.
Oh, the band.
It's KHORNE, and then this is like she's actually like she's like an ice witch, and dude, she looks like total badass. And I'm just like, hell yeah! Like I want to join up on. I want to join her army. But yeah, she like looks freaking like this is just like the cinematic animation for this was really really cool. And you get these like the Khorne army is attacking this woman who is I think her name is the Tsarina Katarine, I think. Sounds like these people are like based off of Russians and maybe a little bit of the old Vikings up there. Yeah. Ravul gets it. Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne. Yes. He knows. We got a Warhammer fan here. But yeah, dude, this looks really cool. She's like just like calmly walking through the battlefield, like to face this thing down. Really like, dude, the trailer is like super cool. Like you got these. Here we go. Oh, there she is right there, dude. Look at her. She's just like, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. So like, these are the cavalry
Those
units.
Are cool.
On
like
the polar bears.
Bears, yeah.
Yeah, and I like how they've got the tusks like from Lord of the Rings, like the mammoths that in Return of the King. Like, so you can like, then they sway their heads. They're taking you out too. So I thought that was really cool. And then here's like the chaos gods. Like, look at that. Oh. That's, man, I don't want to mess with that guy. That guy is just like nasty.
The little like jowl boils, blisters.
Look at that's his mouth.
Oh.
That's the inside of his mouth.
That's awesome, dude.
So dude, so good. So good.
Good stuff is still out there. You just got to dig for it.
And then here's Khorne, I think, but they don't really give you a good look at him. No, not getting a good look. But here she is again. She's just like, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to kill. And here she is walking out. Like, got her sword. She's going to fight. And then you got these cavalry units here. Look, these are chaos cavalry units. These are Khorne. I don't know what they're called.
Dude, those helmets.
But yeah.
They remind me of Twilight Princess Moblins, if anybody played that Zelda.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember that?
And here's a close-up of the Bloodthirster. A little bit better look. Let's see if I can get
like
one
that
of his
thing.
face. Look at him there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't want to mess with that guy. And then here's her, like, casting her spells. So, but yeah, no, like, this just freaking cool, man. So I can't.
Check this out after the stream.
I'm definitely going. No gameplay. No gameplay in the I mean, it's Total War. It's Total War. I mean, come on. Like, has the gameplay really evolved that much in Total War? Like,
much. There's some tweaks here and there, but yeah, you're pretty much same game straight and through.
You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting with Total War. And then here this is like a tease of this other Order faction, which is I forget what they're called, like the Dragon Kingdom of something. Which these are two new factions, I think, that they've been developing for the game. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking this out. We got it up on the website, the full trailer, as well as details about the game. I think it comes out in March. I don't remember. Let me read the. I don't have the article up with me, but here we can just go down here and it'll probably tell us. Nope, it does not. But yeah, here's the other kingdom. They're called the where's here the Dragon Empire of Cathay. I don't know how to say that.
There's no date on the article either. They probably haven't given one.
Okay. You can pre-order it, but there's no they don't tell you what you get. They don't tell you what you get when you pre-order. So
they'll be sharing that in a few
Cyberpunk,
months, apparently.
But yeah, Alexander Vidakovich is saying there's two different Warhammers. There's Warhammer, which is kind of like the medieval. Usually it's like Age of Sigmar stuff, but I don't think this is Age of Sigmar. They're talking about it here. It's based off of I don't know. I have the article. It's in our article, but I don't have it in front of me right now. It's based off of where is it here? It's based off of the The Reign of Karl Franz, and their primary source is Warhammer Fantasy Battles 8th Edition, although we have and will continue to use older editions for inspiration where appropriate. But yeah, there's Warhammer 40K, which is there in the 41st century, and I guess it goes into the 42nd now as well. I think they've got stories into that too. And those are with like the Space Marines, and then you got the Chaos Space Marines, and then you're dealing with like the Orcs are out in space too. You got the Eldar, you got the Necrons. There's a whole bunch of different stuff happening. It's more of a sci-fi, whereas the regular Warhammer is more of like medieval knights.
Right.
Dude, I love the. I played the. I haven't played any of the Warhammer. I haven't played any of the Total War Warhammer games, but I did play the RTS Warhammer that they came out with.
Yeah. What is that?
Couple. It was like a decade ago. I feel like.
Yeah, it's so long ago.
Like THQ Nordic was like the. like,
that's a deep cut. I wonder how many people even remember they exist.
But yeah, those were fun. Those were fun RTS games, man. I love those. But like, I also got the. I think it's actually the last novel I've read. The last novels I read, like fully completed it.
Right.
The Horus Heresy stuff. Like Dan Abnett, like excellent writer, comic book writer as well. But yeah, he wrote some of the Horus Heresy stuff. That's some of the best Warhammer stuff out there. It's a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend that. And yeah, you get to see the fall of Horus as he's like consumed by the Chaos Gods.
Dude, sick.
And I got the Galaxy in Flames there, but yeah, definitely
get into that. Yeah,
good stuff, man. There's some really cool stuff in the Black Library, and if you want like lore stuff,
did you ever play those, Drew? The Warhammer games or the Total Warhammer games?
I've seen them. I've seen a lot of people like with the miniatures and stuff too.
Yeah, that's the tabletop stuff. That's how it originally started.
Did you?
I think Az has a lot of that stuff. He doesn't do it anymore, though. I think he quit.
There's a lot of people, because I know that there was this one girl I was friends with, one of my Twitch friends when I used to stream on Twitch, and a lot of the streams she would do was she would buy the miniatures and she painted all of them and stuff.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Cool.
You have to. Yeah, like that's like the purpose is to paint them. With the miniatures and stuff like that. I think Az used to do streams where he was like painting his Warhammer
still
units.
Does with
he still does.
Media, yeah.
Okay, I thought he quit.
I know Nick played.
Yeah, Nick Riquetta does. He paints Warhammer figures along with Az on Tuesday. Or
oh
Thursday.
wow, I had no idea.
I thought he had quit buying because of the whole
Arch Saga.
God. Arch, yeah, the Arch stuff.
The Arch Saga.
Maybe not. But yeah, like I was gonna say, if you're looking for like cool Warhammer lore stuff, dude, Arch does a great job on that stuff.
He does.
Warhammer.
The few I've watched of his have like really helped. I just got to dedicate more time.
Yeah, his stuff is good. And they're like 45-minute lore videos.
I know they're like long. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, dude, he puts one a week, and I'm like, dang, man, spent all week on that, and he's got all these other videos. Workhorse.
When you know the material as well as he does, I guess it's probably super easy to just spit it out.
Yeah, but definitely recommend checking his channel out for sure.
Yeah. So sorry, I AFK'd for a bit, guys. I had to go and run up to the drugstore for my mom, and then boy, I had a hell of an ordeal. I wound up getting a thing probably about this big, a screw in my tire.
Whoa!
And yep, I gotta wind up in the morning. I'm gonna be out about $120 because I'm gonna have to get a tire.
Jeez, dude.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I
would
just
stay inside.
Well, no, because I got a Walgreens, not far up the road.
Right.
And I ran to get get my mom's subscription, and I noticed that funny sound about quarter of a mile on the way back, and I stop and look, and I'm like, yep. So I made it back, but man, that's gonna be something great to wake up to.
Hey, at least you don't have to deal with it right now.
Well, the good thing is about maybe a mile up the road, there's a Firestone place. So tomorrow, I try to get my car up to the Firestone place.
Dude, just roll the tire home.
Yeah, quite possibly I could do that, but no, I'll be able to get it up there and get a new tire mounted. But man, that sucks. That's like the last thing.
Yeah, right. Last thing anybody wants.
So I just I'm going to change topics here real quick.
Yeah.
The Hollywood Reporter on their front page has a story like the high cost of chasing Netflix.
Dramatic.
Yeah, and basically they're pointing out that HBO or AT&T and NBC Universal are projecting pretty significant losses in 2021 and 2022, or at least 2020 and 2021, due to the start of their streaming service. So I guess AT&T CEO John Stankey revealed on January 27th that Stankey. His name's Stanky. Stankey.
It's real. We've cited him before. It's really funny.
That's his name. So basically, he announced that they have now 17.2 million active users on HBO Max as of January 27th, I guess. But then he also added that they had 520 million in losses due to the ongoing shutdown of many theaters and subsequent hybrid release plan for the 2021 Warner Brothers film slate. It's like, I don't get, like, your article is titled "The High Cost of Chasing Netflix." Literally in your first paragraph, you're like, oh, they got 17.2 million users, but they're losing $520 million. And then they blame it on theaters being shut down. What does that have to do with
Netflix?
Like, high cost of chasing Netflix, which is a streaming service?
No.
I don't like what? Who approved this?
You guys already know what it is, and listen, we called it, I believe, on this stream, because if there's one person I want to recognize about it, it's ding ding ding. Mr. Donald Edmonds called it and said that it was going to be oversaturation, and there is oversaturation. Yeah, you did.
Oversaturation of what?
Streaming services. Too many. They keep coming.
Speaking of keeping coming.
There it is.
That's like so HBO Max is saying they doubled their subscribers to 17.2.
Yeah.
They just launched. I mean, they're saying that's a good thing. The only thing they're talking, so 520 million in losses due to the ongoing shutdown of many theaters. That's why they're losing money, is because they aren't making any money off of because the movie theater is being shut down. I don't think it's oversaturation of streaming services. I think we're going to get there. I just don't think we're there yet. Netflix just had a spike price increase.
Well, I just remember like a while back when we were talking about streaming services in the first place, and when all of these that started to slowly roll out, that there was going to be too many. And
I think I was reading that we were talking about this like I don't know. I think it was like last week. We were talking about this. The issue there is that consumers are already adapting to that. It's like you buy it for the show, you watch it, you cancel. So then you go to your next one, because you just use it on your Roku or whatever your Fire Stick app or whatever.
You fire up that free trial and check it out.
Yeah, free trial, and then you're done. And then you get the next free trial for the next one that you want to watch that show. You get Verizon and you get a year free or whatever it is.
You know what was funny? Something related to streaming. There was a thing, and obviously we don't do a lot of big wrestling stuff because we're not a wrestling site, but I found it hilarious that Vince turned around and sold WWE Network to Peacock, and
Really?
He sold the entire streaming service.
yeah, he sold WWE Network to Peacock, and he made like a cool $1 billion off it. But what happened was they just weren't making money on it. There's a lot of people.
No, he didn't sell it. I'm reading here. M Live is saying both WWE and Peacock have agreed to a multi-year deal, which will give Peacock exclusive streaming rights to WWE Network. So he sold the license. It's a licensing deal. He still owns it, but he's giving them
the
streaming
article
rights.
that I read had framed it that he sold it to them essentially.
Yeah, they sold the streaming rights, so it's just like a licensing deal. It's like the movies that show up on Netflix that aren't like Netflix originals. Those are licensed from whoever they got them from. So like if there's a Disney movie on there, they're paying Disney to stream that. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because what I was reading made it sound like he sold the whole kit caboodle to them, because apparently, like if you go on to Peacock, the entire WWE Network library is on there.
Right. Yeah. And I guess you can't get it anywhere else aside from Peacock now. So like you can't get it from wherever you used to be able to get it, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, which before that you could only get it on the WWE site.
Weird. Oh,
or their app. Yeah.
Peacock. Another one.
So then I see this other article here, like Sportskeeda.
Sportskeeda, yeah, I've heard of that.
Skeeta. They're saying, yeah, let's see. SK Wrestling has learned about several backstage details of the deal.
Dun dun dun.
The plot thins.
It says, yeah, sources within the WWE have told SK Wrestling that WWE has not sold its streaming rights to NBC. WWE is merely leasing its content to NBC. That's the same thing.
Yeah, well, what's the difference?
Yeah, I think they're just I think they might be confused too.
Because I mean,
selling your streaming rights is leasing your content. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're just using different words. It's pretty much the same thing. So here. Okay. But yeah, back to this Hollywood Reporter article here that I'm looking at. So NBC Universal CEO Jeff Shell said that Peacock has 33 million signups.
Oh.
So apparently Peacock has almost double the amount of signups as HBO Max. I don't know.
They're doing they're doing pretty good. Their library is slowly growing because I notice like every time I go on there, because obviously I go on there to watch the whatever episode we do on Thursdays for Pegasus, and the only place you can watch BSG now is on there, and then
they have Friends on there too, right?
Yeah, they're putting a lot of the old stuff on there for NBC Universal stuff. So I could see that because a lot of people want to watch a lot of the old stuff that was on NBC.
I mean, I think some of the most popular cable channels are like the old westerns.
Yeah, my dad definitely watches those all the time.
I mean, the stuff that we watch on cable is like reruns of Everybody Loves Raymond.
So, yeah, well,
sitcoms, the old sitcoms.
Right.
Like 90s, sitcoms from the 90s, 2000s.
Well, one thing at least, when you go on there, it doesn't appear like NBC has the stupid like woke warnings on it or anything. There's no
they're coming.
This may be offensive to you or whatever.
They don't have as much legacy content to have to worry about. Just give it time until the offensive meter or the offensive Overton window will eventually reach like the mid '90s.
Yeah. It's just like you go back to watch an episode of Alf or something, and like it'll be like, this may be offensive to you.
It's coming.
Alf wants to eat a cat.
Yeah, that's
but yeah. So Jeff Shell said that the 9-month-old streamer would lose $2 billion in 2020 and 2021.
Jeez.
That's the same as Disney Plus, though.
How are they losing? What are you are they just spending money on productions? Is that and they're not getting the return? Is that what like, or this like the technology and the infrastructure to run the streaming services with like the server farms that you need? I guess we have to dig into the actual reports because I mean it's Hollywood Reporter. You can't really trust them.
Well, yeah.
So they go on and say who actually wrote this one because usually Natalie Jarvie. I don't even recognize that name.
No, I don't either.
So it wasn't Drew Taylor.
No, he writes for Curl. He writes.
That's the Collider.
That's Collider. Yeah, that's Collider. Who was like hating
Collider.
on. What was he hating on? I forget.
Oh god, yeah.
He was hating on the Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Fans getting what they wanted.
When Disney revealed plans to forego licensing deals with Netflix as a prep for the November 2019 launch of Disney Plus, it forecast that it would miss out on some $150 million in operating income. Warner Media, meanwhile, projected that it would record $2 billion in expenses. So, like, okay, so they're talking about $2 billion in. That's different than like a $2 billion loss. So, like, I'm wondering if, like, when they're saying here that NBC Universal is going to lose $2 billion, if that's just like their expenses.
Yeah, because
that's not a loss.
It's a loss because it's what they're putting. They're putting it in, and they're not making any money back yet. So it technically is recorded as a loss.
If it's not making any money back, correct? Right.
Yeah. So yeah. They put a bunch of money in, and since they haven't made enough money to even come close to covering what they put in yet, it's still operating at a loss. Right. If that's actually true. I mean, it's obviously bringing some revenue in. You're getting people paying you every month. But I highly doubt that 33 or 233 or whatever that number was subscribers is going to push you to $2 billion in revenue. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Plus you're going to still obviously be putting money into that because you got to be creating new shows or whatever. At least that seems to be that's what Netflix model is. New movie every week, I think is what they said, or something like that for 2021. And that's on top of all the licensing stuff that they're bringing in as well. And you pay for that. So yeah, they go on and say here, who are they quoting? Oh, some analysts, of course, to try. Like, dude, oh my god, dude, this is oh my gosh. I feel like this is like the AMC stuff. This is what they do. The Hollywood Reporter is doing it right here. They bring on some analysts to be like, oh, this is like they're crapping on you. Like buy Netflix because Netflix is good. I think Mark said it. Like they paid Netflix and Amazon paid $5 for this article to like crap on HBO and NBC. Like so, they quote some guy that no one's ever heard of, like an analyst from like Lightshed Partners, named Rich Greenfield. Who's heard of this guy? No one has. Not I. The Hollywood Reporter is giving him authority by citing him, but like they don't give it, like they're just quoting him, but there's no evidence of whether this guy has been correct. There's no context on who this guy even is, or like what he does at this Lightshed Partners. Like it's just, this stuff is just insane. It's literally the AMC stuff all over again with what's that guy's name who was crying on TV? Gosh, Cooper Field or whatever. Yeah. Leon Cooperman. Oh my gosh, so good. I could not believe that. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" That made me happy for the rest of my life. I can go out now. It's an attack on the rich. It's like, dude, fair. I can't believe these people are like using their money to like drive up a company. This fair share notion is bullshit. Cry more. Oh my gosh, dude, it's so horrible. But yes, they quote this guy, and he's just like, what does he say here? He says, "I would still call this day one for streaming. The single biggest question for 2021 is who's going to commit the capital to be big enough to matter. Netflix is going to spend $17.5 billion. Who else is playing the
game. Like
It's
like
time
what?
to play the game.
It's like HBO Max. You better spend more money. Like that's what it's like. He's like literally trying to bait them into like spending more money. Like this analyst. It's like, but I mean, dude, I would not be listening to this guy.
That guy has as much credibility as those people they have on those quote unquote panels on cable news. You know, the people that are supposedly qualified to speak on topics, and they're like, no, they're not qualified whatsoever.
Dude,
Yeah, right.
when you have this guy who's like a billionaire hedge fund crying because like everyday retail investors decided to be like, hey, we all want to buy AMC or we all want to buy GameStop. Like, get out of here. Like, especially when like was he the one who like admitted that they go in behind closed doors and talk about doing that stuff too?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was.
That
Get
guy.
out of here.
They were salty. They were big mad because normal people did
Big
it.
mad indeed.
They did. Normal people did it, and they didn't do it, and they were mad because normal people made money.
Yeah, they got outplayed.
And it's like, well, hey, look, you snooze, you lose. You guys got too confident, resting on your laurels, and dropped the ball a few weeks. And normal people actually got savvy for a while and did their thing.
Not over yet.
Then you didn't like it. And so you decided, oh, well, normal people can't do that now. And you decided to try to limit trades and the whole 9 yards. And it's like, my God.
Oh, don't get me started.
I know.
I mean, but this is the thing. I mean, when Jack was on here last week and he was talking about the class warfare, man, it's never more prevalent than what just happened. That should be like a wake-up call to everybody. Like, we are considered like the average guys, we are considered like plebs. We're basically plebs in their eyes. And the same thing the way that
billionaire proved that. Like
and the same thing with the way that Capitol Hill looks at us. Same way.
Same way Hollywood looks at us.
Yeah,
During the
Oh, he's
whole
all-
Snyder
they all-
Cut thing.
all the movies. I mean, all the money flows from. They're all connected. It's all connected.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man,
See, I was looking this up. Some hedge fund like literally owns Gizmodo, and it's part of like the Geo Media that's owned by like a freaking hedge fund.
yeah.
Like these hedge funds like own all like they own the news. They own like they own parts of these Hollywood studios. Like it's crazy. Like the same people that own Gizmodo I think they also own the company that owns IGN. I was looking up like they have like a list of. They have a list of all the companies that they own. It's like, okay, no wonder IGN is like absolute trash now.
Oh yeah, they have been though. It was funny. I used to always even before I got the gig working here with you guys. Back when I was still streaming on Twitch, I used to always get like a lot of my gaming news and stuff from IGN.
I used to get it a lot when I was a kid, yeah.
And for a time they were good because IGN kind of came along and filled the void because before that, and God, shout out to some of the hot chicks they used to have on there, man. But G4 Tech TV, when that was on cable, man, I was always watching G4, whether it was Attack of the Show, the other show they had, Expo, where they'd review games, and then they had other shows, but it was a network all about gaming, and I would be sitting there like glued to that thing, watching it, like I don't know how much, and then unfortunately it went away, and they basically shut down the network, and the only thing you had to go to that was remotely similar was IGN, but you had to go to their website for all that content. But yeah, Mark 63366 said G4 was great. Yeah, it was, dude. man, it was awesome for the time.
Yeah, right.
Back before Olivia Munn had ego and everything, she was just actually funny and had a personality.
When I first went to IGN, it was just like a forum, and I went there for the Dark Age of Camelot forums because that's the game that I was playing, and that's where the forum was for that game. And I didn't even like I don't even feel like they were doing news. It was basically just like officially run forums for that, like they were hosting for like the game for the gaming companies.
Dude,
like, have, like literally had the developers in there talking to you and like providing updates on like on IGN. Like that's where you went and the developers were there.
But yes, Mark 63366. I was a Morgan Webb guy for sure. Loved Morgan Webb. She was a hottie.
She was the one that was on. She was the co-host for G4, right? The main show.
She was she was on. Morgan Webb was on X Play. Her and Adam Sessler, and then on Attack of the Show, it was Olivia Munn was on Attack of the Show. She was which Attack of the Show was her main like afternoon drive.
Yeah, X Play is what X Play. That's the show that I watched because they were actually like
X Play was the one just about gaming.
Yeah,
Attack of the Show was more about gaming news and pop culture news, stuff like we cover now.
Yeah, I usually just watched X Play because they were just like, okay, what are the good games?
Yeah, X Play was all like absolutely all about the gaming, and the best thing used to be like when this was back when E3 was actually good too. Their coverage of E3 was like unmatched. It was great.
Oh yeah, they like actually brought you to E3.
Now all of that's fallen.
Oh wow, are you serious?
I think they're rebooting it. There's like they tweeted out
It's
like things are in the works.
Morgan Webb actually married a tech billionaire. Wow.
It's going to be a shell of its former self.
Oh man, Roof Korean.
I assume it'll be a YouTube show or something.
Yeah, Roof Korean. I actually watched that movie, that one Predator movie with Olivia Munn in it. Oh gosh,
that's Shane Black, right?
She was hot.
Shane Black one.
Yeah, she was hot, but oh god, that movie was god awful. You know, I mean, at the end, the guy gets like uber Predator armor. I'm like, really?
All right, well, we're closing in on midnight here on the East Coast. What is there anything else you guys want to cover or anything that you see popping?
No, I think we got the good stuff.
Now, did we talk about Batwoman at all?
No.
You talked about it getting renewed for a third season.
Yeah, which isn't surprising. I know Ryan Kinnell did a video today, put it in our story about the season 2 numbers, and there's Jim Lee, and he was like, oh, it's gonna get canceled, but I think I've said on here that it's probably go 5 seasons, just because they're gonna keep it going.
They're gonna try,
because they don't. It's agenda first over profit, but yeah, I mean, it's still what it's still at. Like they just did 700,000. That was their biggest episode this season. Was episode 3. Usually once you get down to like 400,000 is when they cancel, or that's what they used to be when they canceled. But they just renewed like 12 shows, including Batwoman, and multiple of the shows are in the 400,000 range. Like that Nancy Drew show is on like season 2 already, and it's down to 400,000. So I was actually kind of surprised they renewed a bunch of those shows. But I also was telling Spencer and Don earlier, before we got on here, that it's probably because of the beer bug that those shows got renewed. They don't want to do the sunk cost into building new sets, getting new sets, getting new costumes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All the costs that come from that they're already kind of reeling from the delays in 2020 because of everything being shut down.
Now, why can't they do a show? Why can't they do a show again, like a modern show about the Hardy Boys? Oh, that's right, because they're white.
I think they did, didn't they? I feel like they just did a movie or something about them.
I think it's called Supernatural.
No, they made one in 2020. I was right. It's called The Hardy Boys. It's on Hulu.
No, it's probably woke as heck, and the dudes are probably like, their girlfriends probably solve all the crimes.
It's definitely no girls.
It's
definitely
two
two guys.
It's two white guys.
Are they gay?
No.
It's not
Wow.
the ambiguously gay duo, Drew. It's freaking Hardy Boys.
It's made in Canada. It's Canadian production.
The Canadian gay.
One of the brothers looks vastly older than the other one in the poster.
Were the Hardy Boys supposed to be twins?
No, they
they're usually
teenagers.
around.
They weren't
same
twins. I remember reading the books as a kid. They were
Frank and Joe Hardy.
I know the characters. I didn't think they were twins.
Yeah.
No, they're not twins, but they weren't like didn't look like they had like 10 years.
Yeah, they were fairly close in age, at least in the books.
Like 4 years,
Yeah.
4 or 5, I would say at least minimum.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just like the Supernatural Boys. That isn't not a.
the poster just looks like the one kid looks like he's like 11 and the other kid looks like he's in his 20s. I don't know. Are you seeing the poster?
Yeah, I'm looking at the poster and now I'm trying to find out how old both of them are.
Yeah.
I'm just going based off what they look. The one kid
We're solving the
definitely looks like there's one is a lot older than the other one.
Come to Batting into Comics where we solve the real Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew mysteries.
That kid is 8. What the heck?
Yeah.
And the other's like Freddie Prinze Jr.
The other one's like 20, 23. I figured that out. The other kid
Yeah.
doesn't have his any information on the internet.
Oh, the actors?
Even on
looking at the
IMDb.
actor's age. Huh.
But then you look at the book covers, it's like they're really close in age, supposed to be.
Holy crap, this is the weirdest ad I just got. It's like a t-shirt ad, and it says it's a Trent thing you wouldn't understand. Like that's the...
Oh, yeah, definitely a generated one.
They know my last name, though, man. That's so crazy.
John's gonna order that t-shirt, though.
No, it looks like crap.
Does it?
I don't like the I don't like the
So I'm rocking my new X-Men shirt though tonight.
is it the calligraphy? What is the word that I'm looking for? The lettering? I don't like the lettering.
Yeah, I figured Don, I figured you would like this t-shirt.
Oh yeah, it's Tim Lee art right there.
Rogue needs to be a little more front and center, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's 90s, so Wolverine
will be
right up front.
I
get the money.
Come on, man, get that Rogue up there.
They put Cyclops in the back, like where he should be.
Yeah, 90s.
Cyclops isn't in the back. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
he's right there.
Yeah,
he's in the front.
Yeah, but he's like barely in the picture.
He's just as much in the picture as everybody else, except for
they stuck Psylocke way in the back.
Yeah, Psylocke is in the back, hidden. Yeah, and is that Beast hanging?
Yeah,
he's upside down. What cover is that from?
I can't remember which cover this is from, but
yeah, you need to trade that in for a Savage Rogue.
Oh, I wouldn't complain.
But yeah, back to Batwoman. I'm not surprised. Usually it's 400,000, and they're at like 650 or something averaging right now. So I don't expect. I mean, it'll probably get down to 400,000 by the end of the season, just because that's like the trajectory it's been in. But we'll see. People keep watching. Someone was in the chat saying that it was decent.
What?
Someone was in the chat saying earlier that it wasn't that horrible. Brian, I don't know. I don't watch it. The trailer for the first season made it clear that it was woke, and I had no interest in checking that out whatsoever. When she was like, "I gotta make it like it's what is the line? I gotta make it. It'll only be perfect when it's on a woman or whatever." She says
Yeah,
in the trailer.
Kate Kane.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, not watching that show. No thanks.
Well, it's funny, bless my mom's heart because she made a comment. It was like yesterday or this evening. Because my mom used to watch that Walker Texas Ranger all the time back in the day with Chuck Norris, and she heard that there was a new Walker, and she's like, "Oh, they're going to remake my show. Is Chuck Norris coming back?" I said, "No, Mom, it's going to be Woke Walker. You're not going to enjoy it at all." And she's like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Just wait." I was like, "Remember what you mentioned to me before?" Because my mom asked me the question one time. She said, "Why does it seem like they make men look so stupid on shows now?" And I'm like, "Well, Mom, you see."
Have a seat.
Yeah,
How much time do you got?
I explained it to her nicely, but she said, "Okay." So I said, "Yeah, that Walker show is going to be the same. It's not going to be great."
The Walker show literally is the most viewed premiere of any CW show ever. It's like 2-point-something million.
Dang,
And the second episode was still over 2 million. And
Jared,
yes,
that's
the
why.
reason is because of Jared. 100%.
It's
100%.
not
If they would have let Chuck Norris's production company make it and his kid, then it might have been good. But
Did you watch it?
Yeah, who's to say it's not good?
I wouldn't watch it.
No, they're getting that women audience. They don't give a damn. They want.
Has
those
anybody watched it?
nannies in the seats?
No,
Has anybody watched it? Like, legitimate question. Has anybody
I
watched
haven't
it?
watched it.
No, I have not.
All I know is the supernatural boys are in it, and the women will just, with their tongues hanging out, will just wag it.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, though. I mean,
Audience
Magic
scores
Mike
at 54.
that means it's bad.
Yeah.
Women being interested in the show does not necessarily make it bad.
Interestingly enough, the critic score is at a 29, so maybe it's
Wow.
not as bad.
I
don't know. 54 audience is usually pretty bad, though. What is that? Let's see what IMDb says.
So it could be legit bad. Wow. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Nothing
It's
beats
freaking-
Chuck Norris, though. I mean, it's Chuck Norris.
6.0 out of 10 on IMDb.
So it's running average, basically.
Barely above average.
The arithmetic mean is I'm probably saying that wrong, 7.0, and then the median is 9. So there's a lot more. Obviously, you got all the 10 votes. The weighted average is 6. Women are giving it higher scores than men. It looks like
Well,
at least
yes.
at least over 30.
Uh,
Women over 30 are giving it significantly higher scores than the men.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not surprising.
Not surprising, right?
Uh,
Aquaman?
But yeah-
And who saw
yeah, like-
Aquaman?
almost a 1.5 point difference between women and men.
I'm amazed it wasn't higher.
And they say women don't love objectifying
listen,
males.
Does he take his shirt off?
I bet he does.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, he probably doesn't even need to. I mean, I know, like, what was it, before? I mean, he's still like an icon, I guess, for boomer women. Is the guy who's on Blue Bloods, Tom Selleck?
oh yeah, Tom.
Like, I mean,
Selleck.
it's
Yeah. My mom loved the show.
yeah.
But the thing that I respect about that, because I've sat down and watched some episodes with that of that show, and
Of what? Blue Bloods? What are you talking about?
yeah, Blue Bloods, and they actually promote like family being together and things like that, and there's actually some very good values in that show. It actually doesn't match up with the other programming that CBS has on, because usually CBS is horrible for promoting like a bunch of like woke programming, but yeah, they've kept Blue Bloods around, because I remember that it was talked about being canceled back, especially when people were so down on the cops. we were in that whole phase where they canceled Paw Patrol and all that stuff, and they were just after any police show they were going to cancel. I remember SVU.
They were trying to cancel SVU. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was like that person, Rolling Stone, I think, who was like going after Olivia. What is her name? Olivia something.
Hargrave. Yeah, something.
Yeah. That was just so crazy.
Yeah, they were going after that, but they were going after Blue Bloods really hard too, and it's managed to
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, it's managed to stay around, and
I got the coolest little like Thomas the Tank Engine book. It literally like you push it, and makes all these sounds and stuff that you like follow along. Oh, it's great.
Oh, I bet Deanna loves that.
Yeah, she does. All right, so we're past midnight now. Let's go around the horn. Spencer's obviously been working on something for the past half hour, or he's like seemingly looks like that.
No,
but,
I was.
What do you got going on over there? What do you got going on over there?
We've got a lot of articles in the pipeline at Bounding Into Comics. I've been editing one for the last couple minutes. That's what I've been paying attention to. But aside from that, as always, check me out every day on Bounding Into Comics. Check me out on Twitter at Kabuto Rider Mav. And as always, check back in on Friday for our WandaVision review at about 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
things are starting to heat up on the show as much as it's heating up. So I guess you could say it went from standing water to a lukewarm boil.
I think heating up is an apt word given what.
That's true. Yeah,
showing up.
Considering the leaks that you guys can all read on Bounding Into Comics. But yeah, check us out on Friday. We'll see you back here on Wednesday, same time, same bat channel, and check out everything everybody else has going on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I do have one question. Where are we at with our with Roof Korean's list? I know he wants to know.
Roof Korean's list has been I've been prevented by the hedge funders from writing any more on there's now a restriction on the amount of words I can write per day on that. No, it's basically done. I've got to make a few quick edits. Yeah, a few quick edits, record the audio up, and we'll be good to go.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Should be fun. And yes, speaking of top anime lists, check out the top 8 anime you can watch on Netflix right now. John just put it up the other day, and it is a great recommendation list. And yeah, always check out everything else we've got.
You should. I'd be interested to see what your top 8 are too. Maybe we'll do like maybe after you do your recommendations. Maybe do top 8 on Crunchyroll or something like that,
Hulu or something like that. That'd be a good one. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Or Amazon, because I know you've been reading.
I do have Prime. Saga, yeah, so. I might put Vinland Saga on there.
Yeah, you might.
The manga definitely. I gotta check out the anime still.
Yeah.
Let's hope they don't drop the ball like Berserk did in 2006.
Oh yeah, I tried watching a little bit of it. The animation was just really bad.
Exactly. Yep.
But the old one is.
The old one is fantastic.
Pretty good.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Drew. The movies too.
Yeah, the movies. The Golden Eagle Saga.
I was trying to spoil my top 8 anime list on.
I wanted to give Roof Korean props actually because funny enough, he's actually been the last couple of times we've been on Pegasus, he's actually come on panel. So awesome. props to Roof Korean for breaking through and getting into dipping your toes in the YouTube pool, my friend. And I'm hope that you are getting around the community, going on some streams and having a good time, because you're a great supporter of a lot of channels. You're a great chatter. And, all of you guys, take a stab if you get the opportunity and participate, because it is fun, and there's a lot of channels and panels that'll give you an opportunity to come on and make your voice heard. So if you get the opportunity, do it. But
definitely.
No, I was going to say, as far as stuff I got coming up, I know tomorrow is Pegasus. We're doing the next episode after what seemed like a very extended opening of season 3. We're doing the standalone episode tomorrow, Collaborators, that kind of continues. It's kind of the aftermath when they make it back onto the Galactica after the rescue at New Caprica. I'm sure Ruth Korean will pop on for that tomorrow, and then we'll have Raquel with us, of course, and who is also a big supporter in our chat.
Always great, yeah. I love Raquel.
And we should have Culture Casino back tomorrow too. So we'll have a good panel tomorrow. And then story-wise, I know that one of you guys is editing that story I did. I covered, for those of you that kind of are keeping up with the celebrity news and stuff, I did cover for the Marilyn Manson and Evan Rachel Wood stuff for us. So the story is submitted. It should be inbound either tonight or tomorrow. So check the website for that, because I wrote a pretty good article.
Check it out. Yes, you did.
All right, Don, what you got in the works?
Okay. Let me do the plug. I am Dolphied, the balance of the force, the middle of the lane, the referee, the umpire, the council of reason, the bell ringer, and as best as I can be unbiased. You can subscribe to me. I got the little thing spelled out for you there, and hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to each and every one of these channels. You got Drew on the Pegasus Actual. I hope you're subscribed to Bounding into Comics, or else how do you get the notifications for subscription?
Yeah, well, how are you here?
Bill. I've got, let's see, here. Okay, so I've got a Fantastic Four story, a Josh Brolin story, the High Council stupid video, letdown video, reaction thing, Spider People, X-Women, WandaVision on
What's the High
Friday.
Council thing?
I actually watched that stupid High Council video.
Oh, are you talking High Republic?
Yeah, High Republic.
God.
Yeah.
I was like,
So-
what happened? What did Jeff do? I was
No.
like,
High
Yeah.
Republic. And
okay.
and then Drawstream, I've got a swimsuit edition coming up, so that's gonna be fun.
Nice.
Drawstring? What is that?
He gets on and draws,
Oh,
because
plug that.
yeah, the
When
our
do you do
buddy-
that?
our buddy McEnany was doing them for the longest time, and then Don finally decided to do his own, which I was impressed with, because when I stopped on it last weekend, yeah, Don was putting some good stuff together.
Yeah, next time you do that, let me know. I'll promote it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be on Mondays, so
That's Mondays. Yeah, let me know.
Mondays.
He's
Yeah,
a
let me
humble
know.
guy, folks, but Don over here is pretty good artist in his own right. So
Listen, I'm no Jim Lee, but
Not all of us can literally crap out the X-Men #1 cover in like 20 minutes. The dude is
I'm no Mariko.
the dude is
Tamaki.
otherworldly.
out of the draw streamers in our community, McEnany's probably like the icon right now, but Don's pretty darn good.
Dude, his new Warriors are giving me my fix until I can actually get the real thing. He's my
It's never
methadone.
coming.
I
It's
know
never
it's not.
coming.
I know it's not.
Oh, I saw something.
We're gonna get to a year and it'll never be here.
They redesigned Kamala Khan and they're calling her Girl Power now. Like that's her name.
No,
Of course they would, because
saw that.
they had
no
to,
way.
they had to
It's
give
part
us,
of like it's part of like Squadron Supreme.
they had to give us the middle finger.
Oh.
As if they couldn't do any more with Kamala Khan, they're like, we're gonna call her Girl Power just to screw you over.
Her outfit actually looks a lot better though. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, that costume is better. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're calling her Girl Power here.
Screen share it, yeah, screen share it. Okay,
Girl
that,
Power.
that,
I
costume,
kind of like that Nova.
that
No.
costume at least is a little better.
No, it's
But yeah, the costume is definitely better.
Yeah, it is a little better done.
in terms of utility, no, it's horrible.
It's better than her like metal armor one that she's been wearing lately.
Yeah,
Her OG one's pretty cool, but her latest one has been awful.
I mean, I just don't like the character. I think the character sucks. So,
Why she got a crown on her head now?
because
She's a
Girl
queen.
power.
she's a princess.
Ugh.
We
I'm not.
Dude is so
we have
bad.
to bow to her awesomeness.
I don't know about which one is bad. I'll be covering this tomorrow. I saw this late. I saw this like right before we went on.
I
stream.
was saying her new costume,
So-
like the one she pre whatever this is going to be, the one she's currently wearing is pretty bad.
Why is she even wearing a mask? Like, so I don't think that's hiding anything.
It's like a Robin mask.
Yeah.
This is
So
standard.
why does Robin wear a mask?
Just your standard, man. That's the question, isn't it?
Mark,
Well, you got to go with
6366.
the movie thing where you paint your eyes black on the outside.
Why does Clark Kent have glasses?
Yeah.
That one
Mark
makes sense.
63
He subtly vibrates his head, so you don't know.
Mark
Canon.
6 says this he doesn't like this one. He thinks this one's worse.
I'm with him.
I don't know. I thought that was
I like
a
it.
little better.
It's better.
What are the-
I don't like the skirt.
I just don't like the character, so it doesn't matter how much the costume is.
Ooh.
The character.
I'm a big sucker for
This-
scarves.
You said you like this one, Spencer? This is
Which one?
horrible.
Oh
I
my
like the idea of Nova being fused with Doctor Spectrum.
What the hell is Bomberman doing in the freaking comic?
Yeah.
It's Doctor Spectrum.
Terrible.
You gotta know who Doctor Spectrum is. He
Dude,
looks this ridiculous anyway.
Terrible.
He always has. Don is fired as our Marvel guy for not knowing who Doctor Spectrum is.
All I know is that hurts my eyes.
It's literally just the Nova costume with his
Like a freaking Xbox controller.
Yeah.
It's just Nova fused with Doctor Spectrum.
It's
That
practice.
is not.
Man. We
Oh, you
talk
looked it up,
about
too.
practice. It's practice.
Yeah. It's still ugly, man.
It's
Doctor-
ugly, yeah, but I like the
Yeah.
concept of Nova being fused with Doctor Spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Spectrum is ugly.
Absolutely.
This is much better.
The other one
Much
they did when
better.
I
Look
think
at
the
that.
ultimate one is
Hold on.
looks pretty
Look
good.
at that.
That is literally who we're talking about.
Look, that is
Yeah.
a better design by leaps and bounds.
It's the
Like-
same design but with a white helmet.
Yeah, it is.
But it's the white.
It's also it's a man and a kid.
Yeah.
I
Who
mean
is that?
I don't know if that really matters. I mean,
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just I was just pointing it out. You have like a classic superhero design and then one with a kid.
Just bring back
What?
just bring back my guy from Alpha Plate. Bring me some Sasquatch.
Miles
never
Morales
dead.
is Falcon.
as Falcon,
No.
yeah. I don't
It's
like
kinda
the
weird.
little frayed booties.
Oh
It's
my
kind of
Especially because they're only on the front. If you're looking
It's
at the
kinda-
same thing I am.
strange that they made Miles Morales Falcon. It's just kind of
It's because they're doing a Heroes Reborn thing, so these are like alternates, but
yeah, but
Let's see.
they made him Falcon though. I don't know. That's just,
oh, that's why. In Heroes Reborn, Marvel's legacy heroes find different mentors than they have now, each a member of the Squadron Supreme of America, that rises up to fill the vacuum created by the lack of Avengers. Instead of Peter taking Miles under his wing as Spider-Man, Miles trains under the Falcon and takes over the mantle after Nighthawk's original partner dies. Pond doesn't look up to Captain Marvel, but becomes the super warrior girl power after obtaining an artifact from Utopia, the homeland of Power Princess. And rather than donning his father's Nova helmet, the cosmically gifted hero, Sam Alexander, follows in Dr. Spectrum's example as Kid Spectrum.
Magneto's outfit looks like trash
Oh,
Where are you seeing Magneto?
Oh,
on the screen. in Professor X's
chair. He looks like he's in a smoking jacket.
Dude, is that? He's got like Immortus's freaking jacket on or something.
Looks like his
Hi.
jacket. It just looks like a smoking one, like a fancier one.
I
Oh,
don't
look,
like
they
it.
remember Sabra. They remember Sabra's a thing.
And Rogue's costume never changed. Is Rogue with Magneto again?
No, Rogue's got
Really?
she's got like a fur hoodie on.
She's had that hoodie for a while.
Mhm.
She had it in Age of Apocalypse, and she had it
Okay.
in
Yeah, she had it like I want to say she also had it like right after House of X House of M.
Age of X or something like that. Yeah. But
Who's the Israeli?
That's Sabra.
Sabra. Okay.
yeah,
And then
That's what I
Emma
was saying.
Frost.
I can't believe they remembered she existed.
There's
Rogue
Emma
is
Frost
with
is there
Matt.
too.
Rogue
Yeah.
is Magneto again.
Rogue and then Hyperion.
Emma Frost, thankfully, is there.
Oh, you could tell Emma Frost right away.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, is that Prime?
No, it's you need to go read some Squadron Supreme. Get off the stream.
Oh, okay.
That's
whatever.
Hyperion.
Oh, okay, never mind. I see a bulked up guy with a cape like that. I think Prime.
You also didn't know who Dr. Spectre was, so
Whatever. Listen, I'm more so whatever.
I wouldn't. That is just not something I would want to read.
I might give it a shot.
I
Jim's
won't
up.
because again with the Rogue.
Steve
and
Orlando.
Magneto,
Oh, we're talking about the X-Men one, yeah.
Steve Orlando's the X-Men one. Yeah. I think Zub is doing the other one.
Yeah, he's
Is
doing
this-
the Squadron.
Is this like a line-wide thing, or is it just like a?
I think it's their new event.
Okay.
But
They're literally redoing Heroes Reborn because they're out of ideas.
Where's this guy's?
And then they're redoing the Clone Saga with Miles.
Where's this guy's comic? Where is it?
I literally don't pay attention.
I can't believe you're on a trading card right next to him, Don.
I need some Lady Death back in my life.
Mark 63366 says Don has proven to be the only one with taste.
Well, no, Lady Death is awesome.
I think he's referring to the Kamala Khan one.
Yeah, the Kamala
I
Khan
think- yeah.
discussion.
I don't know. I don't know. Blue, black, and gold. I don't know.
It's a good scheme. I like the scarf.
scheme.
She needs to lose the skirt, and then the crown. I just realized is because she's Power Princess, or she's under the tutelage of Power Princess.
Oh, that's why she has the crown.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. For me, next week we will also be joined by another special guest, Gary
Whoa.
Beekler.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Nerdrotics.
Yeah.
Scary.
Will be joining us.
Gary.
So for our Wednesday stream, so that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to talking with him.
And we'll probably talk a little Expanse by then.
Yeah, probably. Because I know Gary.
Did you
watching
guys see
thing.
this episode?
I don't know. I've heard horrible things about the finale in the end.
We were
it's
talking about
trash.
this earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Heard it's I heard it like I think someone in the chat said Mark said it, Mark 63366 said it went intersectionalism.
It kind of did. There was in this episode there was a notable death, and I won't spoil it in case you guys haven't watched it.
From what I understand, a lot of people die this season.
Well, no, I mean it's just a notable Rossi crew death.
Oh yeah, I already know that. I know it. Apparently it has nothing to do with the books, but it has more to do with what was happening in his personal life.
Yeah, it was definitely a symptom of the Me Too mob.
Yep.
So we'll leave it at
That's what I've
that.
heard.
But yeah, and I figured that was coming just back when that whole thing broke over Twitter, and he was getting a hard time over Twitter. Wasn't that like last year? That was like last year that was happening.
I feel like it was
I don't
2
remember.
years ago. I feel like that was happening when I met Gary at New York Comic Con. I feel like that was 2019.
Dang, 2 years ago already. Frick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that the thing with what was going on Twitter with him, I kind of figured after that he wasn't going to be long for the show, and finally, it turned out that that's what they did. So we'll see. That I think that guy that has been piloting around the ship since they went into space when they left Tycho is probably going to be like the regular pilot now.
Taika Waititi.
Oh, so you gave it away. You gave it. I guess we already had kind of given it away with the Me Too stuff. But I'm adding this to your list, Spencer. Review Arvita says can't wait to hear more about redo of Healer and Log Horizon Destruction of the Round Table. Yep, I think we're going to be adding that to some more of our coverage. I definitely want to kind of do a little bit more anime stuff, video game stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been hearing from folks that read our website, follow us here on YouTube. They're looking for, you guys seem to be looking for more stuff that isn't focused on the decline and is focused on.
Don't worry, it's not going away.
Fun and entertaining.
We'll look for more to whet your appetites, but that's not going away.
Yeah.
I mean, we will still be covering the decline.
We got to keep a fire to their butts.
No, I think collectively we come up with more like content reviews of anime and video games and things of that nature. I know that I can finally, as I was saying before, now that I've got a good playthrough behind me and some hours in the game, I could do a thorough review finally of Cyberpunk. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting that in the works for you guys. And there are some other games. I got plenty of stuff I know in my personal gaming library that I can review that I think a lot of folks that are gamers that enjoy watching our channel will get a kick out of if I review it. So I can start doing that stuff if you folks that read our site want to see more of that for sure.
It's funny. I can't remember the last review I did.
Yeah, well,
I just saw it in the backlog, and it was a while ago.
Endgame.
Right?
Right?
Wow.
Dang.
That's the last Marvel movie. Or no, did you do Spider-Man? Spider-Man Far From Home. Right?
I think I did
Did you
that
do
one.
Spider-Man? No, you didn't do
I
Spider-Man?
skipped that one in the theaters.
Well, probably for the best. Very good. It's just more like mini Iron Man.
Pretty much.
Iron Man.
Jr. Iron Man is the problem.
Living in his shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, Roof Korean, if you're still in the chat, get a hold of me, dude, because we need to play Ghost Recon Wildlands together. So don't forget.
All right. Thank you all very much for joining us. We will, again, like I said before, we will be back next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be joined by Gary B. I'm getting there. We'll be joined by Gary Beekler of Nerdrotic on Wednesday. And then we'll also be episode 5, I believe, for WandaVision.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll have some catchy
Some TV pun
title.
title. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it episode 5 and 6?
Mm-hmm.
We're getting 2 next week?
Where is this coming from?
I don't know. I just keep hearing it as a rumor.
I saw someone put a poll out thinking we were getting both, and I was like, where are you hearing this
Where are we
from?
getting both? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
It was me that put the poll out.
oh, yeah. I think I retweeted it. I can't remember.
Oh, no. We
Yeah,
are
you
part
did.
of the fake news cycle.
I retweeted it and said, no, only one or something. I responded one.
Shut down.
But yeah, so we'll be here Friday for our WandaVision review. We usually go for an hour, so we actually have a longer show than the actual show. But yeah, tune in for that. It's always fun. And we will see you then. Have a great one.
Yep.
Hey, guys.